Welcome to Optional Dialogue, episode 91. Once again, I'm your host, Sebastian, and I'm joined by Dory, Mitch, and James. We got a very loaded show. We're going to talk about the Game Awards in depth. That was a 3-hour show, which definitely felt like it. And we're going to talk about GTA, and we're going to talk about Super Mario RPG. Before we start, please hit that like button. We really appreciate the support. And we're also on YouTube and Spotify. I tend to post the audio usually about the same day as the podcast, sometimes the day after, but about the same time. All right, so let's start with the GTA 6 trailer. Obviously, that was like the biggest trailer in the world. I mean, it's the fastest. It had like the fastest views ever in 24 hours in YouTube history. It passed Mr. Beast's record. So everybody's been talking about it. I've watched that trailer probably like 60 times at this point, and why I like it so much is for the fact that it reminds me of my hometown, because it is my hometown almost. I mean, I'm only 45 minutes away, an hour away, and it's the most Florida trailer I've ever seen in my life, and it's dead accurate because it's based on real people. Like all those things in those trailers are actually happened in Florida. So I love that Rockstar always does things like that, always does the references. So what do you guys think of the GTA 6 trailer?
I think.
you go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say, I'm not a die-hard Rockstar fan to the extent that I've played not most of their games, quite a few of their games. But like GTA 6 isn't something that I'm like, like itching to play because it's been like a decade since the last one. That being said, though, I think. I don't know if it's just like kind of like the FOMO whole aspect of it, but yeah, this got me really excited. I mean, first of all, graphics fully just blew me away by all means. I mean, was I the only one who thought that that was all what's the word, pre-rendered at the start?
Yeah, I thought so. I thought so as well at first.
Yeah. I mean, it took me like half a second to realize, oh no, Rockstar can actually pull that off. They can actually make it look that good. But
doesn't Rockstar usually do in-game cutscenes? Don't they usually do in-game like trailers?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's like, oh well, no, this has got to be pre-rendered, and then oh wait, no, this can't be because it doesn't fit their MO. Yeah.
But I knew it was rendered because I'm smarter than Mitch. But thank you. It was. I think the trailer looks really good. Graphics wise, it looks quite. I mean, it looks close to like Red Dead Redemption 2, as you'd expect. Which is kind of. I mean, that is what I was expecting. Kind of GTA with Red Dead Redemption 2 kind of technology. Which is that is the exciting thing about it for me, because all the kind of advancements that they made with Red Dead Redemption 2, not just in the graphics, but like in the open world and all that kind of stuff. That's what I'm really excited to see in GTA 6.
Definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
I feel like it's not going to look as that good in the actual game, because this game's been in development for a long time. So obviously, it's not going to be one of the. It's not going to be like. It's going to look like an older game, not in the sense that it's going to look awful, but it's definitely going to look like a game that came out like around this time, not like 3 years from now. Like it's not going to totally optimize the most out of the consoles, because it's been in development so long. So because GTA 5 was. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to say my thoughts real quick. So I watched the trailer, similar to Mitch, not a diehard Rockstar fan. I think the last GTA I played was Vice City or San Andreas, a long time ago. I wasn't really gaming when 5 came out. I think 2013 is around the time I stopped playing games, so I've never really been able to get back into it. But now that I'm actually into gaming again, 6 is definitely one that I could see myself playing, depending on reviews, depending on like what people think of the story and the writing. That's the big part. Also the gameplay. I'm not really a big fan of the way Rockstar does some of their gameplay. Like Red Dead Redemption as a series just doesn't look like a fun game to play to me personally. I don't, I don't really look for that type of gameplay in my shooters, but it's okay if you do. Obviously, it's got its fans, which is great. But yeah, I mean, I also thought those were pre-rendered at first, and yeah, it just looks incredible. Um, I think that there's a really great space for GTA to do working through a cold, so I'll sound congested. But there's a lot of space for GTA to do a lot new with, parody of America and parody of Florida, especially. So yeah,
Yeah,
I have high hopes for it. I don't know if I'm excited for it, but I have high hopes for it. And I mean, if it looks like it's up my alley, I might give it a shot.
Yeah, in terms of the gameplay, like I think gameplay tends to be Rockstar's problem in their games. I mean, I'm curious what the gameplay is going to be like in this game. I mean, I think the Grand Theft Auto games are super fun, even with some of the gameplay flaws. But it's not gonna be like Red Dead. Red Dead was more like a real life simulator. While Grand Theft Auto was full on sandbox craziness and driving a car really fast. Yep.
If I could interject, actually, because not to go on like a tangent,
Yeah.
but it is somewhat relevant. I kind of disagree, because I think I would actually praise GTA 5 a lot for how well it's held up. I mean, that game is like 10 years old now. And
gameplay wise, or
it's still, yeah, like gameplay wise, it still feels really tight. It still feels fun to play.
Yeah, but I still feel like it's the weaker part of the like the weakest part of the game, just because I feel like there's been better third person shooters since then.
Oh no, sure, there have been. I just think it's really solid. Like, there's a good.
Yeah, it's not like if they kept the same gameplay, I'd be fine. I wouldn't be like upset or anything. Go ahead, Bench.
I mean, like I'd say they're solid in like if you approach them from the sense of, them being simulator light games, if that makes sense. Like, simulator light in the sense that, like you can walk around the streets of a big city, you can, like sort of go into cars, and you can interact with certain NPCs and such in certain ways. Like, you can call a taxi, which, not many games let you do, let alone
I remember
open world games.
I know. I remember when I was a kid, and my first GTA game was GTA 4, and when I discovered you could do that. Like, just pull up your phone and call a taxi instead of just having to look for one and steal one. That was like the best thing ever, because you couldn't do that kind of thing in games,
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure. Like, sorry, just to quickly finish up. Like, I think they're great in like the simulator sense, where it's like like they give you like the space to like basically play however you want. Whether you do want to play it like as a non-violent, completely pacifist type, guy just going from his 9 to 5, you could do that to an extent. You could do that.
Can't wait to pair my pacifist Undertale run with my pacifist GTA run. It's gonna mix beautifully.
But like I think when it say if you compare it to like other certain action adventure games, in the action adventure sense, it like I don't want to keep on mashing the X button just to sprint, or like because of how animation driven everything, like all the like basically just movement is. I don't want to have to like be in a foot chase and then wait for my character to like like organically turn around and stuff. Like, I think there's a middle ground where Rockstar can make things like still keep things nice and realistic in terms of how like their games feel, but also make things a little bit snappier, make things a little bit more concise for people to actually play and just have fun with. Like I don't want to keep mentioning The Last of Us Part 2, but like I feel like that game and just how the movement and just everything feels, and that paired with GTA, perfect. Perfect.
Yeah. No, I see what you mean.
Agreed. Yep.
You can even bring up another Rockstar game, which is Max Payne 3, which has one of the best third-person shooting mechanics ever.
Yes.
And that plays a lot better than
100%.
GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption. But I think the problem I have with Rockstar's gameplay the last couple games, even though I think they're fantastic games, they're one of my favorite games ever, but is the fact the characters just feel like they're stuck in mud. Like they feel like they just feel a little like they just feel very slow. Like it's just like the turning is very slow. Like when you play like Last of Us, like you can do so many things. Like it's so fluid. Or even like Resident Evil 4 Remake, for example, right? Like It's very the animation, the motion around you is very fluid. Like when you hit the stick, he immediately changes like direction, but like there's always like a 1 second delay. Like when you play Red Dead Redemption 2, there's always like a 1 second delay when you turn left or right. So it feels like he's stuck in mud.
I will say, that kind of stuck in mud feeling works for me in Red Dead Redemption 2, just because the tone of that game is so grounded in like everything trying to be kind of methodical and paced out and stuff. But I do agree, like it doesn't work entirely well for Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
In GTA 5, it's a little annoying. So yeah, hopefully they can kind of tighten that up, because it feels like that series should be a little more fluid.
Yeah.
One thing I am interested, now that you mentioned Red Dead 2 as well, is because, I mean, basically just to go off of what you said, I mean, like, yeah, the movement mechanics feel slightly more at tone with that game, since you've also got all the survival mechanics and, you know, like you have to make sure that you kept up on rations and energy and all that stuff. I wonder how or if Rockstar are going to, like, take those mechanics and put them into GTA 6. I'm not sure if I do want them to, because, like, again, GTA, I think, kind of fits better with, like, you know, the more, not so much simple controls and mechanics, but, like, you know, like, it very much lends itself more to, you know, pick up and play and just drive around and cause mayhem than Red Dead ever could.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a sandbox game, and Grand Theft Auto is not going to be like Red Dead at all, I think, because Red Dead's like a survival, real-life simulator, while GTA is more about just plug and play, as you said. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, we're kind of drifted a little off course in terms of like the GTA 6 trailer, but like what do you guys think of the story? It looks like, you know, new
Bonnie and
protagonist.
Clyde.
I'm liking the Bonnie and Clyde story. I'm liking the fact that we have a female protagonist for the first time.
Yes.
That's a cool concept. And, first Latino focus.
Some people were saying that it's not the first female protagonist, because there were female protagonists in the really early games. Y'all remember the fucking PS1 games where you couldn't tell.
Was it
upside down? You couldn't tell the male models from the female models, and it's like, come on, you know that doesn't fucking count.
GTA really began with 3. GTA began with
fucking 3. Character model and people with actual emotions and feelings and being able to be seen, like even in our PS2. Anyway, I just thought that was very silly. But it does. It reminds me of As Dusk Falls a little bit in terms of the setup, with like the tragic bandit kind of thing going on here with the brother and the sister. In that case, it's 3 brothers, but still, it gives me those kind of vibes.
Wait, as in brother and sister from As Dusk Falls, or brother and sister from
brother and sister for GTA, and the 3 brothers?
I don't think they're brother and sister.
They're a couple.
Oh, yeah, brother and sister. Oh,
they were kind of on top of each other.
Yeah,
were they?
They're a couple.
I didn't even see that. I only watched the trailer once.
They're a couple.
Anyway, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no.
Yeah, this ain't Game of Thrones.
I paid attention.
Anyway, whatever the case,
it's Florida.
They are.
No, that's Alabama. Florida's crazy. We're not that crazy. Keep that up north.
Keep that up north, Jesus.
Sorry,
my bad. Boyfriend and girlfriend, but giving me similar bandit vibes to As Dusk Falls, with the tragic tale of them trying to strike it rich and stuff like that. I know it's been done before, Bonnie and Clyde and all that stuff, but yeah.
I think we didn't see much of them, but like, much of the story really at all. But they do seem like compelling characters.
Yeah, I think that's where GTA really shines the most. I think GTA's story and characters are always very memorable, and GTA 5 had a lot of cool story elements. I'm a huge Rockstar fan. I play pretty much all their games, so that's the one thing I'm very confident on is the story and gameplay. I mean, it's not gameplay. I'm confident the driving and all that's going to be great, and I'm confident the story is going to be great, and I'm confident the visuals are going to be very nice. So.
The question is the story going to be up to snuff, considering Dan Houser hasn't been there putting in his 100-hour weeks on the writing?
Hard to say until it actually happens.
Yeah.
There's not enough to go on yet, because this trailer was just like a teaser. It was just showing off like the tone of the game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was basically the equivalent of like the little opening cutscene you get when you start up Cyberpunk 2077, where it's like, "Good morning, Night City." You
It
know,
did give me
it's
those vibes. It did actually give me
yes,
I was thinking
yeah,
that like Cyberpunk
yes,
trailer. Yeah.
yep, 100%,
Which is maybe
100%.
not the best thing, but I think Rockstar
Don't
probably
jinx
knows
it.
what they're
Let's
doing.
not
So
jinx it.
yeah, that's not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh,
it'll be fine.
Rockstar, yeah, Rockstar is like in terms of advertising and like making their game an event, like they're the best at that. Like this game's gonna sell like record number probably like or it probably will hit GTA 5 numbers or very close to it. I would imagine this
It
game.
will be.
Yeah.
It will outsell GTA 5. I have no doubt about that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because games
for
are selling
sure.
more than ever. So will it hit Minecraft? I don't know, but probably not. But it's gonna be up there for sure. Uh,
100%.
I think we hit on everything.
Unless they added that punching trees mechanic.
Yeah. So I think we hit on everything. And so next thing I want to talk about is Super Mario RPG. Dory
Yeah.
beat it. I'm like halfway through it. I put it down
Oh, wow.
because I'm playing PlayStation. I've been playing my PS5 a lot
Make
more.
sure and talk about this for longer than the GTA trailer because it is on the thumbnail. So
So I'll let
Check
Dory.
out.
I'll let Dory take it away. So
Sure. Yeah. So, like I said, I'm battling cold, so just mind me a little bit. Or don't mind me. So I didn't play the original. I didn't have what was it originally on the NES, the Super NES?
it was
One of
on,
those.
it was on the
Yes.
Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo, that's right. So I didn't have one of those. I had a Genesis, and then I had like a PlayStation 1. So I was really cool, is what I'm trying to tell all of you, and definitely not out of it. Um, so I never played the original. So I don't really. I coming at this fresh. I don't have anything to compare it to. I'm also pretty new to getting into turn-based RPGs because like 2023 is the year of me finally like doing 2020.
One of us. One of us.
I know one of us. So I think 2024 is definitely going to be a year where I explore more turn-based RPGs because I've been slacking on that for a long time. But anyway, this is a really cool game. It's very interesting for a Mario game. Obviously, most Mario games are platformers, or you're playing golf, or you're at the Olympics with Sonic for some reason. It's anything besides a classic turn-based RPG. I know a lot of people, like I remember in the IGN review, they were really hyping up how weird this game is. And maybe it's just me in 2023. I don't feel like it's that weird. Like maybe it feels weird for Mario standards, but it doesn't feel that weird. Like some of the enemy
To be
variety
honest-
is interesting, but yeah. What?
To be honest, I would have said Chris Pratt voicing Mario would have been the weirdest thing to ever happen
Right?
to Mario in 2023.
Right. So
But
I
hey,
feel So I feel like we've seen weirder for Mario at this point, but there's definitely some interesting enemy variety and interesting locale. But it doesn't feel like anything Mario hasn't done elsewhere. The core combat's pretty classic turn-based. Basically, you have to time your attack, time your defense. You have specials. You have team attacks that you could build up to, stuff like that. I liked all the characters. I know Gino's like a favorite, and I liked him. I thought he was pretty cool. Bowser, whenever Bowser's an ally, you know it's going to be a good game, because he's always fucking funny. And he's just so obviously insecure about his inability to be an effective villain, and I love it. Being able to play as Princess Peach is so cool because I didn't know. I presume that's in the original too, but it's really cool that you get to be able to do that because she gets to be her own character and isn't just a damsel in distress, which is awesome. And surprisingly progressive for Nintendo in the 90s, or whatever this was. I think it was 96. Yeah, it has really solid combat. I think the thing for me, even at 12 hours, it does feel like the combat kind of overstays its welcome at a certain point. I just didn't feel like there's enough variety in it. I'm not sure why I felt like that because Sea of Stars, I didn't feel like that. Maybe it was more characters or more variety, or Sea of Stars just evolved things from Super Mario that Super Mario RPG didn't. I don't know. But the game looks really nice, at least. The graphics are really pretty. I guess my big problem with it is late game stuff, so I won't talk too much about it. but basically, the end of this game feels like a chore to get through. There's kind of bunch of puzzles with really bad checkpoints that I don't like, and I had to literally cheat just to be able to do them because I didn't know the answers to quizzes and I didn't know how to get through certain puzzles, and I kept failing over and over and over again. You lose coins, you go back to the beginning. It sucks. I don't like it. And then it also just feels like the game, it kind of a classic RPG problem, funnily enough, where it feels like the game should be over, but then the game decides, nah, it's not actually over, and you're gonna fight the actual boss inside whatever. So that was kind of frustrating. Yeah. So I don't know. A lot of the game's good qualities, like the writing is funny. It's not like hilarious. I think people were talking about it like it was like super funny, and I laughed every now and then, but like I didn't have me like busting my gut or whatever. But it's a funny game. I mean, it's written more for humor than I think typical Mario games are. And just overall, like I had a fun time playing it. I'd say this is a good game. It's not going to be on my honorable mentions, much less my top 10, but I had a good time playing it. What do you think about it so far, Seb?
I think it's a good game. I don't think it's anything great. It's a proper remaster of a classic game. In a way, it feels very dated because it's very easy. It feels like a really good introduction to turn-based for people, like for kids.
Yep.
Because I always feel like I'm putting like almost no effort in, and I'm just cruising through this game pretty easily.
Yes. Yep.
And I think the visuals look really nice, but I think they're a huge step down from Super Mario Brothers Wonder, because Wonder is like one of the best Mario games I've ever seen. But that doesn't mean the game looks bad or anything. It's just that like when you play both of them near the same time, you definitely see how modern Wonder looks and how this game looks like a remaster of a game from the 90s. I think it has the typical Square Enix from the 90s like style where it was like people do a twirl, like a random twirl, or they jump up randomly, they act weirdly, like it's just because like
yeah,
if you play Final Fantasy games from that time period, it's very similar as well.
Yep.
Maybe not 7. Oh, 7 does that too. And so it just feels like a nice coat of paint on a 90s game. And it's very accessible. Like I said, it's easy. The writing's nice. It's not laugh out loud funny like Dory said, but it's entertaining.
Yeah. It's entertaining.
Yeah, it's worth getting if just to experience the fact one of the best, one of the most beloved Mario games, because people absolutely love this game. It's one of the most underrated Mario games because it's an RPG.
Yeah, I completely agree with Seb. It feels like a dated game, especially towards the end with the way that it's laid out. I like literally almost quit the game, and I knew for a fact that I had like an hour, maybe 2 left in the game. Personally I found it very frustrating, and that's what brought it down. Because originally I was going to say this is a great game, kind of like a Starfield 8 for me. But I find the last portion of the game very frustrating with its bad checkpointing. It feels overwrought with too many battles. By then, like Seb said, you're kind of just cruising through the game for a lot of it. I think I got a game over maybe once, twice in the whole like 12, 13 hours I played. And I've never played Mario RPG before. It's not like I'm a veteran coming in. Now, I did pick normal difficulty. I didn't pick hard or anything. But, honestly, the most frustrating things were just, secret bosses or just fights that were drawn out. It does have that annoying trope in RPGs that I can't stand, where the bosses are able to heal themselves, but it was never like that bad, and usually you can counter it pretty well. So I didn't find it like super annoying like I do in some other games.
Yeah.
I feel like all the characters have really good motivations. They all have good like reason to join up with Mario. Like you feel like they're a team and they have good inclination about why they're working together. Even Bowser, basically just wants to get his castle back from the big bad. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Even when he almost gets it back, like it makes sense why he still sticks with Mario. So yeah, I think that stuff's fun. A backstory for one of the characters pays off really late in the game, which is really cool. Gino is just a fun character, basically a star spirit and a wooden puppet that basically looks like Pinocchio, but they probably legally can't call it Pinocchio.
But yeah, it's basically Pinocchio.
Yeah. Yeah, basically
So-
Pinocchio. Yeah.
Running theme this year.
Yeah, running theme. Weird.
I was gonna say, like, you know, Liza P Mario crossover when, you know.
That's right. Let's go. Gino costume for
know what?
Liza P. Win.
Don't be surprised if we ever get like a Mario Souls game because they always try to do something different. Like, don't be surprised if you ever get actual.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Eventually they'll just like get to a list and they'll just cross off. Oh, Mario Soul like. We haven't done that yet.
Yep.
Somebody
just
at
like
Ubisoft is
just
gonna
a
fix
Nint-
that.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if I've vamped enough so much that we have talked about it more than GTA 6. I think the action effects are really good. You know, it has all those classic things, like I said before, where you time your attacks and defense, and that feels pretty good whenever you nail it. All the mechanics there are pretty solid. I just think the game's somewhat let down by the concluding chapters. Now, I will say when you beat the game, there are a lot of post-game bosses that you can fight. They are very, very hard from what I hear. I have no interest. I felt very much satisfied when I beat the game. I didn't feel like I needed more out of it. And I was already aware that there were post-game bosses that were incredibly hard. And I do not want to deal with that. That doesn't sound like a fun time for me personally. But they're there if you want to. There's a really JRPG-ass boss that you can fight that's like super tough. There's a karate teacher or whatever you can fight. There's like revamped versions of bosses you fight throughout the story, and they come back, but they're stronger. They have different abilities and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. I think that's all I really have to say. It's a good game. If you missed out on it when you were a kid, or if you're now a kid and you want to play it, it's like I agree with Seb. It's a pretty good introduction to turn-based RPGs. I don't think it's not gonna revolutionize things like it did when it came out, but it's a good remake, recode of Paint.
Yep, I agree with that. All right, so now it's time to talk about the Game Awards. This is gonna be our longest topic of the night. There was a very, very loaded show. I mean, there's a lot to talk about.
Long.
Yeah. So right off the bat, actually, let's do this. Let's do the announcements first, and then we'll talk about the winners, and then we'll talk about our overall feelings about the show, because I'm sure we all have strong opinions about the show. But I want to save that for the end. So I want to start with the announcements. So I want to talk about the first thing they showed, or going by this list, but I think it was the first thing they showed in the pre-show, was they're remaking Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, which really surprised me. Which I beat that game 2 or 3 times on different platforms, and I really like that game. It's Joseph Fares. It was like his first game, I think.
Up the Oscars.
Yeah.
And it's a really cool mechanic where you control like both characters with both sticks, so it's a single player game. So what do you guys think about that?
Well, they're remaking it in Unreal Engine 5, I believe.
Yes.
And it looks very nice. It looks really nice.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love The Way Out and It Takes Two, obviously.
Yeah.
I've never really been that interested in playing this one.
Mm-hmm.
But is it quite short?
Yes, it's only a couple hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the puzzles are not that bad either. They're pretty accessible.
I think it's
This
an
feels
interesting
like
choice.
this feels like a game that would be really good if it came out like a Game Pass or a PlayStation Plus type service.
I agree. Yeah.
100%.
But it does feel like a strange choice to remake this, because I don't think it is the kind of game that is that dated, is it?
No.
Or is it just a matter of accessibility?
It was like 10 years ago?
Yeah, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 years ago.
It's like
I'd
out of
say.
10 years ago, wow.
It was like out of left blue. Yeah, it's a weird. Like if you compare it to like his newer games, then obviously basically this game those games ran because this game walked. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
So it's gonna feel dated in terms of. So I'm curious if they're gonna change like any of the mechanics, and
I think they might like.
Good.
Because they were calling it like a remake,
Mm-hmm.
right? Not a remaster. So I think it could be
Yeah, it's a remake.
like a full they modernize it.
I forget. Did they actually get Joseph Fares on the stage?
No,
to
No.
talk about it or not?
No.
he did
okay.
not
No,
make an
okay.
appearance.
The lady that the other lady, the host, was
Sydney
on it.
Newman.
Yeah, she was the one that
Sydney Goodman.
Yeah, that's right.
Goodman.
That's right. Okay, good. Because it I don't know. It gives me the vibes that this isn't like that studio's. Is it Firelight? What's the studio called?
Hazelight.
Hazelight. That's it. It gives me the vibe that it's not their main project. It's like something they've been working on in the background, but like it's not. Because like just because of like how almost much of a non sequitur this whole announcement was,
Yeah.
it makes it feel like it's like like okay,
Yeah.
this is a nice little thing to tide us over until their next game. But
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
common
Yeah,
for
plus-
studios to do. Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, I don't think
Yeah.
I don't think Fares would be working on this solely, because it doesn't.
Yeah.
Because obviously, like a remaster doesn't require, like a creative. I mean, it does require a creative director, obviously, but not in such, not in the same terms.
an
I
important
guess.
way as before. Yeah.
You can put your basically it's pretty common that you can put your C team to work on the remasters while the A team
That's
works
it.
on the next
Yeah.
game. That's what like Last of Us. Like that's
It
what Naughty
does-
Dog
Yeah.
does. Yeah.
It does concern me a little. I mean, just a tiny little bit, not in a big way, but like with this and The Last of Us and stuff, the whole trend of remakes and remasters and stuff, which I love. I think it's great to like modernize these games because games have the problem that like other forms of entertainment don't have, where
Yep.
they age very quickly. So I think
Well,
it's
and
great.
also
that's
the
true.
digital preservation of it side
Exactly.
of it too, right?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Kind
Exactly.
of bringing the stuff forward and making it more accessible. I think it's great. But also, we're starting to get to that point, it feels like, where we are remaking and remastering more modern stuff that doesn't necessarily need it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know if this needed one, but I guess I'm not. I'm indifferent to it at best. I'm not disappointed or anything
Yeah.
like that.
I recommend it. The story is really nice, and it's a pretty heavy game. It's like it has a lot of emotional beats. Like there's death and suicide and like a lot of very dark things in that game. So
All the
tackles-
check marks for a great game in my book.
Yeah, like it's actually a story. Story is probably the best part of the game, and it has like it's like trolls and stuff. So it's like a Nordic setting, I believe. Anyway,
Right. Yeah.
all right, so let's move on. Next thing they showed was Pony Island 2, which
Yeah.
Dory was excited about.
Excited about. I love Pony Island. So Pony Island is this really fucking weird indie game that's very meta, and it came out in 2016, I guess.
Yeah.
God, I think I played it for the first time a few years ago or so, and on Steam. It was such a fun ride. This is a very, very indie game. If the trailer wasn't enough of a hint, this is a very fucking strange game that knows it's a game and is doing some very Undertale-ish. Think the weirder parts of Undertale. I know that's like Undertale can be weird anyway,
Yeah.
but like think the really weird meta parts of Undertale, but make that the whole fucking game.
Yeah.
And that's kind of Pony Island. It's really fun though. I love that Sungwon Chao, or also known as Pro ZD, is going to be in the game. I recognized him instantly. He's really funny. He's got some great skits on YouTube, and he's big on Twitter and stuff like that. Sorry, X. Yeah, that was really cool too. But yeah, obviously we don't know a lot about the game, and this is a very I understand if you are not into this game kind of game. It's very weird, but I'm excited. Pony Island was a lot of fun for me, and did a lot of fun things with the medium of gaming, and kind of mixed it up in some very interesting ways that I had never seen before. So I'm very curious how they're going to do this before. I believe it's the same creator of Inscription.
Yes, Daniel Mullins.
So
Yes.
yeah. So expect more indie fucking weirdness.
Yeah, his games are all like very meta, but like, Inscription didn't click with me. I didn't like the roguelike nature of it. I got to the final boss and it was just like I kept getting the wrong hands and the wrong cards, and I was just like I can't. I'm not a big fan of roguelike, obviously. So unless you do it a specific way, like some games click with me, some games don't. So this game, I'm personally not really interested in it, but I thought like I appreciate these kind of games. I appreciate indie games with an audience. So, all right, you guys have anything else to say about that before I move on?
Nope.
Okay. All right. So the next thing I want to talk about is Usual June, which was comes out in 2025. It looks like a narrative game where like there was a lot of dialogue boxes.
But also some combat. I mean, like there was combat in it,
Yeah.
but like I don't know if I want to say it looked like some like at one moment it gave me Hades vibes. The other it kind of gave me
Yeah, it's got like a third person action
Yeah.
stuff going on.
Is the camera's
I'm looking at it
behind
right
the
now.
yeah the camera's behind the character's back and stuff.
Yeah.
She's swinging
Yeah,
swords,
exactly.
a sword at the enemies.
100%. Yeah. I mean like it looks cool, but I just kind of need to see more of it. That's
Yeah, I
really my
agree.
main takeaway.
Yeah,
It's like it's a
yeah.
cool reveal trailer, but I just I don't. It's one of those games where it's like you see the reveal trailer, like a Game Awards or a press event, and you're like, oh, okay, that looks cool, and then it's like it kind of just leaves your mind, and then it just
Yeah.
like releases, and it's like, oh, okay, I remember that, but I don't really
I
feel
think,
inspired to check it out immediately, which is sad.
Yeah.
I think with the best will in the world, Game Pass fodder.
Yeah.
It definitely gives
Yeah.
Game Pass vibes. I mean, not. I don't mean that in a bad way. It just like it. It's one of those quirky. I can see it's like one of those quirky indie games that they put on Game Pass for sure. Like Thirsty
For sure.
Suitors, for example.
Yes.
Yes.
Like
yes.
Dory,
Yes.
Dory
That's
played. Yeah.
that's the vibes. That's the vibes it gave me
Yeah.
off. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I like I said, I always appreciate indies. All right. The next thing was Ark Knight's Enfield, which I thought was a pretty cool RPG kind of game. It had an anime feel to it. But it kind of reminds me of Xenoblade, but it feels like a graphics test. Like it feels like the graphics look really nice. So
The graphics do look really nice until the anime characters start stepping into frame.
yeah, yeah, I feel like that too. Like the anime characters kind of don't fit the
Yeah,
realistic
it's like it's
environment.
yeah, it's one of those like Unreal Engine like marketplace asset
Yeah.
marketplace games,
I need to see gameplay.
It gives me similar vibes to that what you call that final I
Fantasy?
played the beta of it. No, it's like that other game that came out or that had a trailer here that it was like anime style, and I played the beta for it. Not the Final Berserker. Yes, the First Descendant. The First Descendant, not the Final Descendant. The First Descendant. It's like that, like got a bunch of exosuits, and it's like, it's like all pretty, very like Unreal Engine, all ray tracing reflections, and then like in trailers it looks fantastic, but then like when you're actually playing it, it's like super compressed and looks like it's just like a really fancy mobile game that's just kind of been blown up to like a big monitor screen.
Yeah, I feel like
It gives me similar vibes as that.
yeah, I feel like like Jeff always seems to have a theme to his shows, and I feel like this year was like anime like mech stuff. Like there was a lot of like mech and like futuristic anime characters like in the, like science fiction setting. Like I remember like the game his other show had like it was just space horror games. Like it was all like
Yes.
and this year this show was all about like anime. Like there was a lot of anime and mech stuff. All right.
100%.
So the other game that really stood out to me was Harmonium the musical, which
Before could I
go ahead.
do because I just want to point something out before we move on to Harmonium.
Yeah.
There was a trailer for the Assassin's Creed game, the
Yes.
VR game,
I see.
Assassin's Creed Nexus VR, and I know you want to skip it because we're not really interested in it.
Yeah.
But if you go to that trailer, right? Do me a favor, go to that
Yes.
trailer and skip to 42 seconds, and it's the funniest thing in the world. I swear to God. Go 42 seconds.
As in like a
Hit play. It says there's a quote on the screen from PC Games End. It says truly breathtaking.
Yeah.
And then you let it play, and the clip after that is the least breathtaking thing you've ever seen in your entire
right.
life.
You're right. You're so right. And VR is not even VR is not even an excuse for it to like that anymore because like I've been playing my PSP VR 2 like a lot more, and like the modern VR games look a lot better than they used to.
No,
And that's like
to be
that
fair,
looks
this
terrible.
to be fair, it's a MetaQuest game, so
sure,
it's not,
but
you know.
like that,
Yeah.
even for that though,
Yeah.
that's like bad. Like that's
But yeah,
Yeah, that's really
Ubisoft
bad.
were really kind of running into some trouble with the Accolade trailers at this show.
Mm.
I think
some of the character
they
models.
don't get how that works.
Some of the character models in Mirage kind of look like that too. So Ubisoft just
yeah.
Ubisoft doesn't do character models very well. Honestly,
No, I mean, like,
probably not.
again, I think again with Ubisoft, it's like in like still images and like certain trailers and stuff, it looks like, you know, nice and breathtaking and
Yeah.
cool to look at. But then it's like you actually play it, it's like, oh, okay, this is not so much compressed, but like just really meh.
I think Ubisoft does environments pretty well. Like Assassin's
Yes.
Creed Mirage, like the environment was really nice. Like it looked,
Yeah.
But the character models look like it like PS4 character models in a PS5 game. So it was kind of.
No, I'd agree with that. I'd agree with that.
All right, so Harmonium jumped out to me because first of all,
Yes.
it gave me major Disney vibes.
Yes.
The character had she's basically a Pixar. It looked like a Pixar character, and had singing but the coolest thing was the fact that like it's about a girl that's deaf, and it has a lot of. So I imagine it's gonna hit on a lot of issues regarding that, and
Yeah,
it's
so
very accessible.
you can see that she has a cochlear implant for people wondering how this is going to work. So plenty of deaf people can actually hear. I know that sounds like a contradiction or whatever, but plenty of deaf people can hear.
Yeah.
Some deaf people can read lips. Some deaf people aren't fully deaf. Like it depends on how deaf you are.
Yeah.
You know, and some
Well,
older
it depends
people
on
like,
if you're born with it or
and
not.
it depends if you're born with it or if you get it over the time over the course of your life, or if an accident happens, whatever.
Yeah.
So there's lots of ways this can go. I know on the face of it, a musical for deaf people seems weird, but there's even like deaf bands and deaf concerts. Like you can do this kind of stuff. It's very cool. I took ASL 1 and 2 in college, so I learned a bit about the deaf community and talked to people within the deaf community and gone to events and stuff like that. So I thought this was awesome. I don't know if I'll play it, but it's on Game Pass, I think. So I might check it out. I thought maybe it was on Game Pass, but
It is on Game Pass.
it is on Game Pass.
Yes.
Yeah, I was right.
It's on Netflix too.
And Netflix games.
Yes,
Because everyone loves playing games on Netflix.
absolutely.
On their phones.
So anyway, Seb, I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're
I just
fine.
wanted to explain like the basic premise of the game because I know it may sound weird to some people. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe people just figure it out. But
I mean, I
there's plenty
feel
of
like
ways to work.
I mean, like, I feel like it's like just like, you know, the idea of like a deaf musical is, I mean, obviously, as you said, it is possible. It has happened, but it's like it's enough of like both an oxymoron in a way, and also like just such a fantastical idea that it's like
It's
it
such a
instantly,
cool
you know,
idea.
inspires. Yeah, like it, and like especially like, you know, with the vibe they have, where it's like, you know, Disney-esque and very like storybooky, and like it kind of like in itself, even for people who don't actually know, you know, how the real world works and stuff, like it inspires enough interest, or it has the potential to at least inspire enough interest and make people go like, oh, you know, like what's this about, and, you know, can be a springboard for actual knowledge and, you know, learning about stuff, which is, I feel, the niche that this game nailed down pretty much. Like I'm gonna be honest, I don't have much interest in it, like, you know, from
Totally
a
fair.
gameplay perspective. Novelty wise, like 100%, I think for people who are into it, great, but personally, no.
Yeah, I don't even know if I'll play it. I mean, but I think it's really cool that it exists.
It
It reminds me of like the movie that came out a few years ago, Coda, which I never
Yes.
got a chance
Film,
to see. But
was my favorite.
I feel like this is doing a similar thing
yeah.
for deaf, or hopefully does a similar thing for deaf people.
Yeah.
So I think it's awesome.
That was my favorite
And that-
movie of that year when it came out.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
nice,
very good.
nice.
Also,
go ahead.
Mitch,
Yes.
don't knock Netflix games, because did you
Okay,
know
yep.
if you have a Netflix subscription, you have access to Immortality, the second best game
God.
of 2022.
I
Did you
knew
know that?
You were gonna
Also-
mention
It's
Immortality.
also on Game
Pass.
How did I know? Yeah, but I don't want to play Immortality on my phone.
It's better
Would-
than
would
not playing
you?
it at all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
But
I'll not
but you have
consider it.
Game Pass, don't
There
you?
you go.
no.
not immediate access to it. Like it's on my brother's Xbox, but like
Poor.
yeah. But hopefully, when Xbox gets off their ass and actually starts announcing some like proper in-house AAA titles, and I'm not talking about ones they purchased through acquisitions and stuff, then we can talk about getting an Xbox.
Okay.
I'm sorry, that's just my dig at Xbox. I just wanted new Gears or
I think I
new
wanted-
Halo game. That's it. That's it. Yeah.
But
Take the slander.
Harmonium appeals to me. Like this to me, like unless the reviews are bad or something, like this is day one for me. Like I love fantastical like fantasy setting and with like platforming. It feels like my kind of game. Like I just love everything about it. So, but unless the reviews are mediocre or something, then I can wait. But this feels like a nice.
Yeah.
I just hope it's not like $40, $50, $60. I hope it's 30 something, $30. Like that feels like a good price.
I mean, like
so.
it. I mean, if they're putting it on like Netflix games and Game Pass, I don't like it has to be max $30 like regular price.
Yeah.
You'd hope.
Yeah,
I'll
I'd be shocked.
More than that.
I'd be shocked if it was like full price, but yeah.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Windblown, which we called it the Happy Tree Friends game. Cause
Yes, Happy Tree Friends.
cute little animals brutally
that's a
murdering
deep
each other.
This
Yeah.
was so cool. I love this one.
Yeah, I liked it. It's from the people that made Dead Cells, which is a really good game.
Oh,
Yes.
And from what I gather, I think it's a roguelike. I mean, it doesn't.
I think so.
I don't know if it said. I don't see where it says that. Maybe it is.
I mean, like
It's definitely
it
co-op.
gives off those vibes.
It's definitely it gives me that
Yeah,
vibe,
co-op.
but it's definitely co-op for sure. Like it has 3 players. Looks like. It looks really good. The colors are nice. I like the camera, the top-down view. It looks cool. I was like, oh yeah, that'd be fun to play with people.
Yeah,
like,
I would. I'm honestly considering getting it, and y'all know I'm very picky about roguelikes.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Dead Cells and Supergiant Game had a baby.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Basically, huh?
Well, because I mean, like my instinct when I saw this was, or like when we talk about it, it's like, oh yeah, it's a new Supergiant game, or like it's the Hades devs, but like no, it's the Dead Cells devs.
Yeah.
Now let's
Tapping
just hope
into that
that
potential.
let's just hope that no one at IGN plagiarizes a review again, and then we're fine.
Yikes! I forgot about that. Yikes!
Dang.
It's a good thing nobody just came out with a 4-hour video about how plagiarism works on YouTube, right? Everybody, right? A 4-hour video.
Mitch got all the smoke tonight.
Anyway.
He's
Who
ready.
came out with a 4-hour video?
No. H Bomber guy came out with a 4-hour video
Oh.
about plagiarism on YouTube. It's brutal, from what I hear.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I do enough of that every day as a teacher. Like I always have to give that lecture.
Yeah,
Plagiarism.
plagiarism.
You do a lot of plagiarism as a teacher?
Yeah, I can't believe it.
Because I always tell the kids, there's one class you can't plagiarize in, it's English, because when you go from like a second grade level to like college level, like from your writing, like I immediately know like it's a red flag.
Yeah.
Yep.
Basically, you just look at the kids and say, "I am God in this classroom. You nothing you do escapes me."
Yeah, like you don't go from basic English to like audacious
No, yeah.
and bombastic.
No.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet ChatGPT was fun for you.
But this
You know
looks
what?
really
That's not
cool.
factored, but yeah.
I'm thinking about picking up Windblown, and
Yeah, that's
depending
cool.
on how much it is and how tough it is and stuff like that, I'd love to play co-op if I like it. If it's
Yeah,
good.
although it's
Yeah.
so far it's only coming to PC from what I can gather. It's coming to PC. The early access.
I wish listed it.
is on
I
Steam.
already wish listed it.
Yeah,
So
PC early access is next year, so we'll see if it comes to
Nice.
console. I'm assuming I'm sure it's coming to console, but it's probably gonna start with PC first. All right, Thrash.
yeah, it says
Good.
action roguelike and Souls like.
Okay, it is roguelike. Okay.
Sorry, it says
Okay.
action roguelike and Souls like for the tags.
Interesting.
On Steam.
Interesting.
That's great.
I
Can we
don't
talk about
see
the
it as a
next game
Souls
now?
like,
'Cause
but whatever.
I'm excited to talk about the next game. Can we do that?
Oh, sorry.
Thrasher.
Okay, I'll introduce it. It's called Thrasher.
Yeah.
And it's a spiritual successor to Thumper. If anyone has played Thumper, you guys have played Thumper, right?
No.
Mage.
Yes, I have.
What the fuck?
Wait,
played it in VR.
Maybe I have.
No,
no. Then.
Okay, look, Thumper absolutely rips. It's
It's a solid
it's
music
a
game.
rhythm game.
Yeah.
I thought it
Um,
thumps.
with a lot of thumps. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. You can't. It's one of those things you can't really describe, right? Like it's a rhythm game, but it's like it's so unique. It's a vibe. So I'm happy to get
I
more
hope
of that,
so.
which is what this looks like. You know.
Yeah, it looks like Thumper, but like modern. Like it looks like the next like the sequel. Like it looks like the next iteration of Thumper. Like
Yes. Yes.
which I'm definitely I wouldn't say I'm like, oh, I'm day one, I'm definitely gonna get. I'm more like this would be a nice VR game to get when it's on sale. Like this, I love. I think music games and rhythm games do really well in VR. Like especially the quirky ones that do crazy scenery and all that, like Tetris effect and pistol
Yeah.
whip and things like that.
You know-
So yeah,
Do you know what I like about Thumper though?
Yeah.
Is it's like, you know, most rhythm games, it's like they give you a readout on the screen of like when you need to hit the buttons and stuff.
Yeah.
But like Thumper integrates all that into the level, and it's like it uses the game kind of score, and it just works really well. It's like it's such a unique combination. So very excited
Yeah.
for a spiritual successor to that.
For sure. All right. Next one was there's a crossover between Dave the Diver and Dredge. No, Dredge is a horror game, where you get attacked by like hallucinations and stuff while you're fishing. I know about Dave the Diver.
I mean,
but
that's just
I'm
an
not
average.
super-
That's just an average.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
sorry, I was going to say with Dredge, that's just an average day of fishing in Australia. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know what
Well,
why they had to go and make
Australia
a
is
game out of it, but
Australia is basically Dark Souls.
basically, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a Souls game. You can die at any
You do a
moment.
lot of fishing, Mitch?
No,
No. Okay.
I did fishing once.
Right.
no, I have fished on occasion, but no. I mean, like,
did fish
why
once.
would I want to
sucked at it.
subject myself to the hallucinations, James? Think about that. Why would I want to
Hallucinations?
subject myself to that? Yeah. Well, I mean, whatever
There are
Seb said, it was like,
Is
Yeah.
does anyone have Dredge or
No.
played it?
No.
it's on PS Plus though, isn't it?
No, you had to buy it. You have to buy it.
It's like 20 bucks on PlayStation.
It's 25, I
okay.
believe. I got it for 18.
25. It was on sale for like 20.
Yeah, I'm gonna have the platinum
Yeah.
during winter break.
I almost bought it. I'm not really into some aspects of the gameplay, and some other aspects really interest me. If it was on Game Pass, I would 100% play it, but otherwise,
Yeah,
Yeah, but yeah, that's fair.
definitely recommend. Really good indie game,
Mm.
from what I'm gathering.
So
it's got
sorry.
great
So
reviews.
is this a DLC for Dave the Diver? Is this a DLC for Dredge? Or is it an entirely new thing? Because it looks more Dave the Diver than
I
anything
believe
else,
it's
but
coming to Dave the Diver, not the other way around.
Yeah, it's Dave the Diver.
yeah,
So,
okay.
yeah.
But then it's just got Dredge.
I mean,
stuff in
Dave
it.
the
Okay.
Diver is undisputably the bigger game here, so I'm pretty sure it's Dredge coming into Dave the Diver. No, yeah,
Really?
yeah. Dave the
I mean,
Diver's
like, look,
been pretty big.
Okay. I've mainly only heard
Yeah.
about Dredge, but
Dave the Diver is
Yeah.
probably more popular. I think Dredge is probably like one of the most underrated games of 2023, which we'll talk about.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So let's move on. Just for the sake of pacing, the next
Yes.
game is World of Goo 2. Do you guys have anything to say about that? Because this didn't really do anything for me. I'm just not into these kind of
No.
puzzle games.
I didn't have
no.
anything to say about it.
Okay.
Gooey.
Okay, the
Mm.
next game I definitely have a lot to say. Metaphor, really Fantasio, basically Metaphor, that new game from Atlas, their new IP. It's on Game Pass.
That's
day
right,
One. It's
yes.
on Game Pass day one. It still had the Xbox marketing in the trailer, as well. They revealed it at the Xbox show, so the Xbox is going all out with Sega and Atlas, of course. They have all their Persona games are day one on Game Pass, and this is their big IP. I think this is like Xbox's like marquee Japanese game that they're advertising a lot for, and it looks hype. It looks amazing. The creativity looks insane. It looks like a typical Atlas game. It looks amazing. What do you guys think about it?
It looks cool, but like I personally think like Persona is like the more compelling IP for me at least. Like I think just like the how they, I mean obviously each game has a different twist on it, but like you have like the real world, and then it's like you said in a high school type environment. Then like you basically become vigilante. I was about to say vigilante Jesus at night. I don't know why. Just a vigilante at night and like doing all this cool stuff. I think that's like there's aspects of that here for sure, but I don't know. It looks like just like an evolution upon like a further evolution upon that gameplay. Nothing like spectacularly brand new. Like unless I'm wrong on that front, but yeah,
Yeah.
just I don't know. It
For
looks like more
me-
of the same new IP, but yeah.
For me, it's like it looks great, but the Persona formula doesn't excite me that much. So this doesn't either.
Yeah.
Understandable.
I
I
mean,
know you're not a big turn-based person either, so
Yeah,
that makes
this
sense.
is a. I mean, I'm not like super hype about it. Like I said, I'm trying to get more into turn-based games. So I mean, if it gets good reviews, maybe I'll check it out. I've never really. The social bonding aspect of Persona seems a bit of a chore to me, but maybe I would enjoy it because I did really enjoy Scarlet Nexus a couple years ago, which was kind of
it's
similar.
You'll like it.
it's
Yeah,
it's
so-
done better in Persona, or at least
Yeah.
Persona 5. is
Have
what
you ever
I
played a
played.
Persona
It's done
game?
better there.
I've never played a Persona game.
Oh,
though.
it's time for you to play Persona because
Apparently.
now that you like turn-based games, it's time for you to play Persona. It's on
Yes.
they're all on Game Pass, so I would start with Persona 5 Royale, if
Definitely.
as being the most modern one, of course, like the newest one. No, Persona 3 remake's coming out, which was also at the show, so might as well just hit on it now. And I'm hyped for that as well, and that's also coming to Game Pass. So, but
Yeah.
personally, for me, I associate Persona with PlayStation, so I don't know if I'm probably gonna buy them, but that's me. But yeah, so I'm excited about it. Did we get a release date for it? I just
For
I
Persona
don't
3.
think so.
no for no we did. Metaphor comes out fall of next year.
Okay.
All right,
And that was the last game of the pre-show, I believe, right?
yes.
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 Because
Oh,
up
God, we're
next
only in
we
the
have
pre-show?
all right.
Yeah, next game was Exodus, which is Matthew
Yeah.
McConaughey's in it, and the writer.
That's right.
I'll tell you
And
what,
everybody, let's get into the supermassive black hole. I was so hyped that they played this song because I love this song.
isn't it from the writers of Mass Effect? Like the writer.
Yes, well, there's some
Uh,
writers of Mass Effect
Creators
involved in
of
the game.
Mass Effect, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just creators in general of Mass Effect, or
The
like developers.
supermassive.
Do you know what I was
But-
surprised to not hate about this whole thing?
What?
Matthew
What?
McConaughey's speech.
At,
You know?
at the start?
Yeah. Those usually don't
Yeah,
suck. I mean,
no,
those usually do suck when they get Hollywood guys out there.
Yeah.
But
No, I
it was
agree.
yeah, it was pretty good.
I thought it was alright.
Yeah,
I thought it was good.
Yeah, thought it was alright.
Oh,
Alright,
God damn it,
alright.
James.
I thought it was all right.
All right.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Anyway,
It
this trailer looks cool.
it looks cool. I like the tone. I like the science fiction setting, but I need some gameplay. I can't get hyped for games
This-
with eye candy. I'm not an eye candy person.
There's a little bit of gameplay, but yeah, it's not a lot. It's mostly
That-
towards the end.
You know what this
I need
gives
to
me
know what it
vibes
is.
of?
What?
You know what this
It's
gives
very
me
quick.
vibes of?
Very quick.
Immortals of Avium. That's what.
Okay.
That's
You
not
think?
good.
And
That's
for,
not good?
for better and for worse. For better and for worse.
I'm playing
Like,
that right now.
Like,
and
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, like right as we record.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just got an extra set of hands.
I hope. Let's say I'll say it's not as bad as people make it out to be, but it's not. I hope
No.
this game isn't that, because that game's kind
No,
of.
I mean-
the writing's cheesy.
Yeah, I mean, it gives me Immortals of Avium vibes in the sense that, like, they show a trailer like this, it looks very pretty, the concept looks like, at least
Yeah.
semi-new and fun, gameplay, like, sounds really cool as well, but then it's like, I don't know if I have, like, it looks like nothing amazingly special, like, it feels like it's being carried by, like, oh, we've got, devs from, like, this famous game that you really loved.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And
Yeah.
It's just like it's kind of riding all on that.
That's that's
Joe-
exactly how I feel. Like this feels like I've seen this 100 times. Go ahead.
Do you know what threw
Yeah,
me
and
about the trailer though?
Mhm.
The fact that So they didn't show any gameplay until the title card came up at the end of the trailer, and then they showed a bit of
Yeah.
gameplay after that. So I'm
Yeah.
watching the whole trailer, trying to figure out what this game is, and my first
Yeah.
thought were like XCOM clone, some kind
Yeah,
of
okay.
strategy game, RTS, or
Mm.
what do you call the Starfield? No, not Star. What do you call the
Real-time strategy.
no,
What?
fucking the Blizzard game that the guy the Blizzard game.
StarCraft.
StarCraft, yeah,
It's a
or one of
strategy
those,
game.
yeah. Like I was thinking it's gonna be one of those, but then it turns out it looks like a third-person shooter.
Yeah.
It gives me. It looks heavily reminiscent of Mass Effect Andromeda as well. I mean, like obviously
On a
Mass
bu-
Effect,
yeah, like-
Mass Effect devs.
Tone-wise,
Test for
and
value, Mass
look-wise,
Effect Andromeda.
gameplay-wise, it doesn't look like that because Mass Effect is like similar to like a Bethesda game. Like I feel like
Oh well, I mean, like Mass Effect Andromeda had like a lot of like jumping around
Yeah.
and like very like
This-
monolithic structures. Like the main Mass Effect trilogy, no, but like Mass Effect Andromeda,
What I mean-
also get this.
right. What I mean is this feels more like an action game, like more than an RPG. Like that's what I was getting out of this trailer a little bit. Like,
Oh,
the
yeah, okay.
snippets of
Yeah,
they
it feels-
showed, there was like more action.
It kind of feels
I
like
just
Returnal,
sorry.
budget
Yes.
Returnal.
I can see Returnal. Yeah.
Yeah, I also got Returnal vibes.
We have Returnal at home.
Exactly.
We have Returnal at home with Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
That's right.
So it's a game I can see myself like being really into or being like, I can wait for a sale. But I think I'll probably play it at some
Yes.
point. But whether it's day one or not, I just need to see more.
I just hope it's not going to be like another open world RPG. Lots of like sort of, like a fine to okay to like mediocre story.
Yeah.
With like choices and stuff. Like and I already predict that Matthew McConaughey is basically just going to be discount Johnny Silverhand from Cyberpunk. Just
Dang.
as Matthew McConaughey. That's my prediction with the way he was talking about his character.
Right. All right.
Oh, by the way,
go.
they absolutely saw Inception. Not Inception. They absolutely saw Interstellar and thought of the idea for this game, and that's why they hired Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah. Boom.
Right?
They're like, yeah.
Oh yeah, right. I didn't.
Like
I
as soon as the
didn't
movie
think about
ended,
that, yeah.
as soon as the movie ended, called them.
Yeah. They're like, we're making that fucking
Get his
game.
head
And
off
we're
the line.
hiring the guy. We're getting the
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Next trailer, they're going to reveal Anne Hathaway.
Yeah. That's
see-
true.
you know what? I would imagine at some point maybe Christopher Nolan does a video game like that gets into the medium.
Yeah,
at some
yeah,
point.
I
That'd be
believe
cool.
that.
Yeah. All right.
Maybe
Get-
not. He doesn't like computer generated imagery, so
Sure.
maybe
Sure.
not.
We'll see. We'll see. Next game was Big Walk. I mean, did you guys have anything to say about that one?
Big walk. Woohoo. House.
Wasn't that game
back.
where wasn't that the
Yes.
game where Jeff was like really hyping it up? Like he got like really excited about it, and then it was
Maybe
like,
there was a few of them.
yeah, like he was like, oh my god, look at this game! Look, I can't wait to show you this next trailer of this new awesome game, and then it was just like a quirky little like duck people doing things.
That's. I mean, Seb, you basically just summarized, like what I felt for like good like half of the reveals here. It's like, oh, it's really exciting, and then it was just like the Zorps running around on Zorpland or something.
I don't know what you guys are.
And like quirky little music.
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I'm really excited for the Untitled Goose Game developers doing Bug Snacks.
That's what I.
That's kinda
yes,
what this
that's-
looks
That's
like,
exactly
right?
what I thought. I was
Yeah.
like, this is Bug Snacks. Like this is we have Bug Snacks at home, but
No, not
Yeah.
even Bug Snacks
Or-
at home.
or is this the
like,
better version?
Just different Bug Snacks. Like
Yeah,
Bug
that-
Snacks
Mm.
with a Goose Game flair.
No, funny
And
thing.
a guy that sounds like the dad from Bluey is what you're saying.
That means nothing to me because I've never seen it, but yeah, sure.
Your loss.
Are you gonna
It's
play
an
the
Australian hallmark.
Are you gonna play the Bluey game? Because being
fuck
Australian,
no.
you gotta support it.
Fuck no. I mean, it's an Australian hallmark, but
Yeah.
Bluey's
popular.
Yeah,
Well, not as
it
It's
is.
pretty popular. Even in America, it's popular. For kids.
Oh yeah.
But you know what? Thing is, as negative as I sound, I'll probably play this because I really love Entitled Goose Game. That was one of my favorite
Yeah.
indie games
Mm.
when it came out. So, all right. The next game.
And this game does have a title. Surprisingly.
Yeah. Big walk. All right, so the next game is Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, which I think is coming out next month.
Yeah, so
yes.
like we this was announced at Ubisoft's E3 show, right?
Yeah.
Or but sorry,
Yeah.
E3 air quotes.
Yeah.
But we
Summer Game
neglected to talk about it, if I remember correctly.
No, we
at the
talked about
time.
Did we?
No, we
Are
talked
you sure?
about it. Yep, we definitely did.
Oh,
'Cause
okay.
We had Ryan on that episode.
Right.
That was the Starfield
Um,
episode, I believe.
Well,
The pre-
alas,
yeah.
it continues to look all right.
You know what?
All right, all right.
I'm still,
No,
I'm
no
still,
Matthew McConaughey.
I'm still excited about it. This is probably gonna be the first new game I buy next year. Like this, I have every intention of buying this day one. I just
Yeah.
love. I'm a big Prince of Persia fan, and even though I'm not the biggest Metroidvania fan, I just love the anime. I like the style of it. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely into it. So unless the game has
I mean, as
horrible
I-
reviews or something, then
Yeah.
I'll wait. But yeah, go ahead.
I mean, like as I kind of said while we were watching it, like I just appreciate that it's like, you know, Ubisoft are actually doing something different for once. You know, like they're not doing the usual,
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
you know, open
Far
world
Cry.
RPG. Like, you know, they
I
go,
don't-
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't
It's
know
a
what it
side-scroller,
is.
so-
I don't really like the style of this game, but I'm not sure why because I'm not against cell shading. It just looks
No, I know what you mean. When it first,
facial stuff looks weird.
yeah. Well, when it first got revealed, I had some issues with the style. I thought it looked a little
Yeah.
generic, but yeah, I don't know. Mark's against it for not having a big Hollywood celebrity voicing any of the characters.
Right? I mean, come
Or the
on.
villain, or the villain,
can I
at
just-
least.
Can we make a list here, right? If you want to get your game shown at a Jeff Keighley event, either have a Hollywood celebrity in it, make it a Fortnite clone, make it an anime game. Was that it? Are those the three? Is that the trifecta?
Yeah, yeah. That also
a Kojima thing.
other thing,
Yeah.
like 70% of them have to be cinematic trailers, and not
Right.
show any actual gameplay off.
True.
That's the standard now in this industry. That's always been.
Yeah.
Every game show
Cinematic,
since the big day one has always had 90% eye candy. That's
Okay.
just how it is.
So,
Sure.
so Jeff Keighley's favorite game, cinematic trailer for an anime Fortnite clone starring Matthew McConaughey.
Agreed.
Oh, there we go.
Directed by Kojima
Incredible.
Directed by Kojima. Yes.
and Jordan Peele. So
Anyway, Prince of Persia.
Prince of Persia. Only thing I would say is, as excited as I'm, as very interested as I am for this game, I really would like to have a classic Prince of Persia game again, like a 3D.
I mean-
run on the walls like game again. Like this was that remake, but it looked terrible. And
I mean,
never heard
we're-
anything about it again. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, they recently announced, like, I think like a month ago, that like they hit like a, you know, a promising or substantial milestone in terms of development. So like they've and I think they've restarted development,
I believe
or
that.
like
when I
they've
see it.
at least, you know. Well, yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's like, look, I just hope this isn't gonna. Because when did they even announce that remake? Like, I want to say 2020 or 2021.
Oh, it feels
at
like longer than
least.
that.
It does feel longer.
Yeah.
than that. That's a good question.
Yeah, like I don't know how else to describe it. It's just,
Yeah,
it exists.
I'm not the biggest Ubisoft fan. I don't care for most of their games. I think most of their games are average. I don't think they make horrible games. I don't think they're
Yeah.
but I think they're not game mill or whatever it's called. But they're like the definition of 7 out of 10. Like I feel like all their games,
Yeah.
I always feel like, oh yeah, I liked it. It was good. It was a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
Alright.
Formulaic.
Yeah.
Very formulaic. It's like a factory. All right. Another thing. The next thing was Lego Fortnite. Do you guys have anything to say about that? I know Mitch plays Fortnite. How do you played that at all?
No, I haven't. I have not played Fortnite for like majority of this year. I only just hopped back in for the new update, partially check out what they did this season. Like, I didn't even check out that OG Fortnite update just because I'm like, that doesn't interest me. I'm interested in checking it out, like Lego Fortnite, and then they also had like that rocket racing thing. Then I also think they have not a GTA clone, Jesus, a Guitar Hero clone.
Like,
They do,
GTA
yeah.
and
Rock
Fortnite?
Band. They have a Rock Band clone, I think, because they bought
That's
Rock
it.
Band.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did they?
yeah.
What?
Well,
Harmonix,
Epic
right?
Game Store bought Harmonix.
Yeah.
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 So
Huh.
That rings a
That
bell.
explains the giant
Huh.
M&M and the Guitar Hero section out of nowhere.
sure, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, you lost me.
Yeah.
but
No.
wait.
It
Okay.
actually
Well.
happened. That was
Yeah.
an
Well.
event in the
Yeah.
game.
Wait. Did you say Eminem?
Yeah, there's a concert. There's a giant
Oh.
M&M, and like when you
Oh,
eh,
you
eh,
didn't mean a giant M&M like the candy. You meant
no,
a
like
giant M&M.
the
like
actual rapper.
I was so confused. I was like, why?
Oh!
Okay. Good. I'm not the only one.
I was so confused.
Marshall Mathers. Marshall Mathers.
Yeah, Eminem.
Oh God.
All right, so
Okay.
I'm
Well,
just sitting here
yeah.
picturing,
Look,
like
it's
you playing Guitar Hero.
it's a
and there's
good-
giant M&M. Just sorry.
but yeah,
Same.
there's a concert, and there was like randomly like you had to play like a Guitar Hero mini game, like while he was performing. It was
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. No, because they've got like that whole game coming out.
To be honest,
I think it's already out. Maybe. Yep.
to be honest, I was more interested when I thought it was the chocolate.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, same.
All right, let's move on.
I'm sorry, Marshall, whatever your name is, but yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. All right.
Hellblade 2.
oh yeah.
All right, let's move on. They've showed
Oh,
10
yeah.
fucking trailers. How many more trailers can they show?
I don't care. They can show as many as they like, Dory.
God
Hellblade,
damn it, James, you're the problem.
Hellblade 2 looked fantastic. Like
It looks good. It does look great.
there
It
was
does
some
look great, for
gameplay elements. I'm like, it looks like the first game, but I'm fine with that. The gameplay in the first game was pretty good.
I just need the puzzles to be more transparent
yeah.
and less overbearing, and I'm in.
That's my concern. Is I don't want like 90% puzzles again because people
Yes,
forget like the first
same.
game is like mostly a puzzle solving game.
I kind of like the puzzles.
Oh, I didn't like the puzzles.
Me neither.
I like the
I think it drags
puzzles.
the
And I
game
like
down.
the volume of the puzzles.
James, you're the problem.
Yeah, you are.
You
the
are
problem.
the problem.
here.
Not
But
if you ask Ninja Theory.
I don't think it's going to be that heavy on puzzles again, because it's obviously being the sequel. It seems like it's more even more cinematic than it was the first game. And it feels like they're going for more of an action vibe. So
It
You know what
it
it
feels
is going
like
to
they.
be?
Sorry, yeah, you go. You go.
You know what it is going to be heavy on? That
What?
good Unreal Engine 5 shit.
oh yeah, this game looks incredible. Like absolutely, this is the game why I have a 4080 PC. Like this is the game where it's like, yeah, this is why I invested in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because the
100%.
series, if the Series X can't do a freaking Starfield, then I'm concerned that like I don't know if the Series X can handle this game. Never mind a
Maybe
Series
not.
S.
Oh,
But this is
I.
yeah, this is
I
the
mean,
game that's
like,
gonna make me cry because I spent so much money on a PC a couple years ago and it doesn't work anymore.
Oh, you should be fine, I think.
Anyway,
I
sorry,
mean,
Mitch.
you should be fine to run it in low settings at least, James. It's
Yeah,
it's
if
okay.
you want to
It's
do
okay.
that.
It's okay.
Yeah.
This gives me like it feels like the devs kind of like because what the first game came out before like in what 2019, right?
No, like
It gives me
2017.
Oh.
2017.
27. Yeah.
Jesus.
I beat
So what,
I beat it on
like,
PS5, on
7 year
PS4,
difference.
ironically. Yeah.
Oh my
Big time.
god. Okay, but it looks like they saw The Last of Us Part 2 and just like yes, that.
Well, the
That
first
tone.
game is
And
very
I
cinematic like that. So
Yeah. the
not
first-
not
that's-
not cinematic, but like in the sense that like it feels a lot more. Like it seems a lot darker, and I mean the first game was already dark enough considering the subject matter at hand, but like it seems a lot more violent.
yeah,
especially.
do you know what?
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be entirely surprised if they took inspiration from like The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah.
But I think it
I mean,
might just
not
be
only
a
just
case
that,
of
but
like
yeah.
it might have just been a case of kind of thinking about where to evolve it from the first game and which direction that goes in.
Oh,
It's just
for sure, and I
it's-
mean, like, I don't necessarily like want to say that. Oh, obviously, is like the devs purely saw that as like, okay, it's like, everyone stop what you're doing. Let's derail to this. But like it's a as you said, it makes sense for where the story and everything needs to go, and like it's a natural progression. But like it feels like they've kind of taken some elements and like it's like they've looked at Last of Us Part 2 and other games in that ilk and have kind of gone, okay, we can take ideas and elements from this and kind of interweave it into our own game.
Yeah, kind of. Do you know what? I kind of see what you mean, but it's kind of the Alan Wake 2 vibe as well.
Yeah,
In terms of the
yeah,
jump between the first game and the second, and how much kind of darker it seems.
yeah.
But
No,
yeah.
I get that.
The best way I could
buy that.
describe
I'm
this
here for it.
game, the best way I describe this game is the first game felt like a AAA, AA game, where this game feels like a true AAA game. Like this,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
this feels like Xbox's like marquee game of 2024. Like it's like their game.
Yeah,
they
I
put
kind
some
of agree
budget
with
in there.
Seb.
Yeah.
Where if this game flops or somehow doesn't do really well, like maybe Xbox should just call it a day. I don't know.
We'll go that far, but because
Well, you did say that. I'm not being 100%
well they
serious.
no I'm kidding. But they purchased this game, so this game was already being made. I think. I don't think they specifically made it for Xbox. Like, if I'm sure it was already in development, or I could be wrong, but I feel like it was already they were already working on it. Like,
I want to say that this one was made for Xbox
was it?
because I cannot see them making this without the budget injection.
Oh, sure.
Um,
I know. I'm
And,
sure they had
and
plans.
the timing
Yeah.
lines up.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, because I think they were bought by Xbox like a year or so after, probably about a year after Hellblade came out. No, something like that.
That's a good question. I would have to look that up.
I think it probably is in that time frame.
Okay.
So yeah, I think this probably was like
Yeah.
because they've been working on other stuff as well. Anyway,
Either way, it looks great.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it looks great.
It looks fantastic.
I see more of like a God of War Ragnarok vibes than I do Last of Us, but all those games are in the same genre of third person
Oh, yeah.
cinematic games. That's why it has that.
Yeah.
That's why it has
Yeah.
that similarity to it.
Ragnarok because it's the Nordic
Yeah.
thing, but also I think darker than God of War.
Well, you're right, and we've all said that Xbox needs their like cinematic third person genre. Like all their games are like multiplayer, like cartoony looking games. Where
Yeah.
so this
a
is
live,
like
a
this
live
is their answer.
service and
Yeah, so this is their answer
Yeah.
to that. So let's move. Okay, we gotta move on now. The next thing is Kamuri, if I'm saying that right. This game got me really hyped.
Spooky.
This game got me really hyped. Like this game looks great. I love the aesthetic to this game.
This is from the same creative mind behind Ghostwire Tokyo, which I wasn't hot on, but I did love the creative vision and the aesthetic, and that seems to be the thing that's intact.
she like for reference, I'm not sure if you've actually ever played it. She was also I'm not sure if she was also the assistant director, but she like headed up the art direction for The Evil Within 1 and the DLC, and wasn't part of The Evil Within 2. And you can just, and like it's part of the reason why I in some ways prefer the first game over the second, is just because of how superior the first game's like sort of look and feel is, and like what the monsters are
I agree with that.
compared to the second game. It's just
Yeah.
night and day difference.
Also,
And-
was she the
Yeah,
creative
yeah.
director of Ghostwire Tokyo?
Yes.
I don't think. No, I mean, I
Well,
know
she was.
left either way.
She founded the studio that had. She was the creative director. Yeah, the studio founded by former Ghostwire Tokyo creative director Akumi Nakamura.
I see.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so yes.
I find it interesting how that works out, because like I swear she like left like years before it released.
Yeah,
She might have. I don't know.
midway through
So like
development for sure.
yeah, so I don't even know how much. Yeah. Anyways, but like like still, it's it's exciting, but like again, I just want to see gameplay, because like again, it's the same thing with Ghostwire almost. I mean, it's like okay, cool premise, but like I need to see gameplay, and if the gameplay is not
Yeah.
cool, then
Yeah, I wasn't in love with the gameplay. Well, I liked the gameplay in Ghostwire, but it just went on too long for me. But
yeah.
But
it looks awesome.
I'm
It
with-
looks awesome.
I'm with you. I need to see gameplay, of course, but I am excited. The aesthetic excites me, and I feel like this was the beginning of another theme that was going on in the show, was like a lot of arcane based animation, like a lot of the common style now. Everybody's going for that style now.
Yes.
So this is the first. I think it was the first game that started going in that direction. But yeah, it excites
Also,
me.
Arcade, was that a hint for later on?
Oh, hint it.
Oh.
Oh,
I would
spoilers?
use it as a transition, but I want to hit on.
Yeah,
the
we're
next
not
game.
there yet.
I want to hit on the next game because I'm excited about the next game.
That's what we call foreshadowing.
Yeah, foreshadowing.
Yes.
No rest for the wicked. This game looks incredible. As soon as they said the creators of Ori, I was like, yep, I'm day one. Sold. That's it.
But surprisingly, this does not look anything like Ori.
Well, the animation and the color tone does.
Yeah, the color palette.
You can tell it's the same people. Like, because Ori Will and the Wisps the Ori games just look insanely good. Like they're incredibly good, and it's not exclusive to Xbox. It is because people think they're owned by them, but they're second party. So this game is on every platform, from what I gather.
This is published by Private Division.
Yeah.
Which is a subsidiary of 2K, which is a subsidiary of Take-Two.
Yep.
GTA crossover confirmed.
This game looks incredible. I mean, it just looks it just looks insanely good. Like everything about it.
Really, what I want to highlight for No Rest for the Wicked is whoever thought of this fucking title and how to match up the cross guard of the sword as the T and the sword itself as the I in Wicked. Just incredible. Chef's kiss. No notes. Give that person a raise.
Yeah, it had. Yeah, I remember you saying that during the show.
Yes.
The gameplay looks like,
and the little dot in between for the. Sorry, I'm obsessed with this title. Sorry.
The gameplay has like a top-down view. So
really bloody too. Really bloody.
It looks insanely good.
It looks really good.
This might be my favorite game of the whole show, honestly.
Where you go?
Yeah. We're getting new information in March.
Nice. Are we gonna talk about the Avatar trailer?
No. Moving on.
That was an Avatar. No, that was an Avatar trailer.
There was an Avatar
I know
trailer.
that.
The game is.
I know there was, but it's
for the sake of time.
The game is out, but I just want to highlight again. This is another one of Ubisoft's accolade trailers. And
the
quotes are incredible. The best they could come up with. Entertaining, says Game Informer. It's brilliant.
That game is exactly what I said earlier. The environments look incredible from all the people I've seen on my timeline. Like the environments look insanely good, but the character models are lacking. And it still has that Far Cry formula.
Screen Rant calls it a technical feat.
Wow,
environment-wise.
It is truly a game of all time. Is the last quote?
Okay, we got to move on because the next two things are like hype, like super hype.
Cool.
Yes.
Next thing was Sega Power Surge. So Sega, out of nowhere, decided we're gonna remake all our classic games. And I was like, oh my god.
So yeah, are these like remakes, or are they just announcing new games in the franchises?
They're remakes.
They're all remakes.
I think.
Okay, all remakes. Okay.
I saw Jet Set Radio and I flipped out.
I did too.
You did.
I did fucking too. I love that Bomb Rush Cyberpunk or whatever the fuck finally came out, and Sega was like, okay, fine, we'll fucking do it. God, shut up. And so they finally did Jet Set Radio.
It reminds me of the. Oh, sorry, I was gonna say it reminds me of the time like those people were trying to make the Resident Evil 2 remake and like the fan remake, and then Capcom said no, we'll do it we do it ourselves.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it just me, or does this kind of feel like Sega's eating Bomb Rush Cyberpunk's lunch with this announcement?
Does a little.
I don't think they were trying to. I think Jet Set Radio is just a classic like name, like it's a household name for like a certain generation, like our generation. So
it was literally paired with Xbox in some bundles. So
yeah, definitely. But not just Jet Set Radio, but Streets of Rage and Crazy Taxi and Golden Axe. Those are all classic Sega games that I have played in my life. So it was really hype. I did not expect that. The guy's face at the end of the trailer pretty much sums it up for me. That was my face. I made the same face when I saw
that. Was pretty funny, yeah.
Yeah. Now the next game I'm sure is hype for Dory and I is Dragon Ball Sparking Zero.
Go!
That game looked insanely good.
I was screaming about this.
The animation looked insanely good.
Oh, fucking good. Oh my god, my headphones just fell off. That's how far back my head went. I'm so excited. I played Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 1 and 2 as a kid. I played a little bit of Budokai 3 and 2 when I was a kid. Love Dragon Ball Z video games. I'm so excited for this. This looks incredible. The roster is going to be awesome. I'm going to kick Seb's ass.
Yeah,
It's going to be a game. It's going to be.
You know what?
It's going to be a game.
It's
It's going to be so fun though.
this is my childhood. Tenkaichi games were insanely good. Like they're not like never mind just being an anime game. It's like a legitimately great fighting game. And not only that, but the Tenkaichi games have like a ton of people in the roster. Like Tenkaichi 3 had like over 100 characters in the game, and they all felt pretty. They all felt balanced. Like they all had, for like I mean, so some characters a little like too similar, but like for the most part, they were all unique. It was insane how they were able to balance like a roster of over 100 characters. And Dragon Ball is my favorite anime franchise ever, and it always will be. And I can't even tell you how hyped I am from this. I'm
sure Zero of
it's
you
getting pre-ordered.
are wondering why it's called Sparking Zero, and we could keep talking about Tenkaichi this and Budokai that. In Japan, it was always called Sparking this, Sparking that, but in America, it was called Budokai Tenkaichi or whatever. So now they're doing Like a Dragon. They're doing the whole Like a Dragon thing. They're just bringing the Japanese name into America because nobody cares anymore. It says Dragon Ball Z. There are enough fans that know what's going on to not like the name confusion doesn't matter. Plus, we haven't gotten a Dragon Ball Z game like this since 2007. That's crazy.
We've had some.
Wait, really?
Like
this specifically,
Tenkaichi.
like this. Like we've had Xenoverse, we've had Fighters.
Yeah,
we've had
no, but
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, because yeah, no, okay.
Xenoverse kind of plays like this, but not as much.
Okay, that's
Like it
that's
does.
why I was
It does.
confused.
It does
Yeah.
play like it, but
Yeah.
but it's not. That game is more
RPG
RPG
and story
based.
and
RPG.
yeah, okay.
It is close though.
Okay.
I just meant specifically we haven't gotten to Budokai.
No,
games
yeah.
since, like 2007.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
anyway,
No, okay, that makes
it's hype as
sense.
fuck
Yes.
basically for me. And
Yeah.
Seb.
It's very hype. Like the game looks insanely good. Yeah. So let's move on. That Dead by Daylight horror game made by
Yeah.
Supermassive is casting Frank Stone. That was the big news.
It's I mean, like they announced this game, like they announced a partnership with Supermassive like a year or so ago, I want to say.
Yeah.
I mean, Supermassive gameplay wise have, like, especially in like that last Dark Pictures game, like really did kind of improve how they actually felt to play and such. So I hope it's good. I mean, from what I've like gone into of the lore of Dead by Daylight, I am a fan of it. I'm interested to see where this goes. I hope it's good. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
I hope it's good.
That's where I'm at. Like I play all of them. I like all of them, but none of them are like amazing. I like the last one. The last one I actually found amazing was Until Dawn. And that was a long time.
I mean,
ago.
to be fair, that's probably the only one that's like actually been amazing.
Yeah.
Everything else has just been like good to
that's a must play game on PlayStation.
Yeah, even like the Quarry was just like
Yeah, Quarry was kind of like it was like a 7 out of 10 for me.
Yeah.
All right. The next game I was hyped about was Visions of Mana. Like when we were watching, we were like, what franchise is it? I know, like, it was a Square Enix game right off the bat. Like, you just knew.
Yeah.
But it was like, was it Dragon Quest? Is it Final Fantasy? I mean, I knew it wasn't Dragon Quest because Dragon Quest has the same animation as Dragon Ball, same creator.
Yeah.
So I was like, what left is there? Oh yeah, the Mana series, and then that's what it is. This looks really good. It's coming out next year. If the reviews are good, I'm probably getting this day one. Like that, so it looks great for me. Like that's I'm an RPG. I'm probably the most JRPG person on this panel. So
Undoubtedly.
Yeah.
Unequivocally.
Yeah. All right, next thing.
I thought this was.
Go ahead.
I thought this was fucking. What you call it? Dragon Quest. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see why at first, but like.
Yeah, I also thought. I kept going on. I'm like, oh no, I swear it's Dragon Quest, but no, it's not Dragon Quest.
But even the
They
Mana,
all look the same.
the Mana series, I mean, the Mana series definitely has its own look. Like you can, like when you actually compare it to the other Mana games, like they all have their own certain like color palette and like certain shade
Yeah.
to them. Yeah. So the next, obviously the next big thing was OD, which is Kojima and Jordan Peele.
Jesus Christ.
No, that
Not just Kojima and Jordan Peele. Apparently,
It's on
it's
Xbox.
like the Avengers over there.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's just like the Avengers.
Now
Just like them.
for me personally, I like Kojima games, but like, and I'm a big Jordan Peele fan. This is really cool news. It's really good get for Microsoft, but I'm not like, I wasn't freaking out. Like I was kind of, can we move on? I was like kind of ready to like move on from that.
They went way too
Look-
long. Yeah.
Look, and again, I hate harping on this, but the fact that we got no idea of what the game was actually like,
Yeah.
it's just like, you know, some. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say in engine because I feel like it'd be a bit weird if they didn't. But like give us like at least a little bit of a taste of like, you know, what the game is actually like, because there was a leak about, oh god, like I want to say a year or so ago. I'm not sure if anyone remembers. It was like it was a trailer that had Margaret Qualley in it, and it had like a shirtless guy in the reflection of the screen.
Yeah.
The reflection of the screen recording it on his phone.
Yeah.
Very different tone than what he's doing here, and I don't know why Hideo Kojima is like, you know, abbreviating all of his game titles now, like DS2 and now OD. I don't know why he's doing that.
It's hip. It's the new thing. It's the hotness.
Yeah, let's keep telling him that. Look, I because like, I mean, from the way they were talking about it, to me it just sounded like Hideo Kojima was like doing a Supermassive type game where it's just like, you know, like very cinematic, choose your own adventure, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I got from
man.
it.
It's like a game. It's like a movie, and it's also like no other form of entertainment ever conceived.
Yeah,
It's gonna,
yeah.
It's gonna end world hunger. You know, it's just like Starfield.
Yeah.
It's gonna end world hunger. It's gonna change gaming forever.
No, listen.
That's it.
Alex Sophia Lillis,
Yeah.
Hunter Schafer is pretty cool. Don't know who that other guy was, but he seems alright too.
No.
This trailer was fucking weird.
Yeah.
Yep.
But however, despite the fact that it's starting to get on my nerves just a tiny little bit that this is the kind of shit they let you do when you're the director of the Metal Gear Solid games.
Yeah.
I'm kind of here for it. I mean, I like the weird shit. You guys know I like the weird shit. So
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Let me have it. Let's see.
No, I am definitely on board from what I'm seeing. Like, 'cause like I'm a big Jordan Peele. Like, I like all his horror movies so far. Like, I've liked all three of them very, very much. So
Yeah. I'm a big fan of his comedy work.
that's that too. But
Yeah.
but like it's amazing like how good his horror, like how good he is at horror.
Yeah.
Like they're all
Yeah.
But,
No,
but there's
yeah, for
there's
sure.
layers to them too. Like it's not just like a cheap.
Yeah.
It's like an onion or an ogre.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Layers.
We need a Shrek.
Um,
we need a Shrek Kojima game. By the way.
That's right.
Yes.
Let's go.
Kojima remastered Shrek 2.
Shrek
I was
2.
just
Imagine-
thinking that.
God.
And Kojima.
I was just thinking that. I was just thinking that, James.
It needs to say. It
They
needs to say.
the Shrek
It needs to
2
say
game.
Shrek 2.
Imagine-
A Hideo Kojima game. Like in the whole.
Yes.
Yes!
That's the title.
Yes. Make
Now
it
we're
happen.
talking.
Imagine if Hideo Kojima's on stage and like instead of Jordan Peele walking out, it was just Mike Myers, like in that in just in
The
a
serial
fucking
killer.
Shrek costume. Yeah.
No,
Bum, bum, bum.
like they keep doing like a one more. Oh, we have another person here. It's like Eddie Murphy. Oh, we have another person here. It's like this is the
Yeah.
cast of. This is the whole cast of Shrek.
The human Shrek comes out. Brilliant.
Really.
The guy who played Shrek in Shrek the Musical comes out in full makeup.
Just the cast of Shrek the musical. That's all you need.
I love that we've gone from a horror Kojima game to Shrek musical.
You don't think Shrek the musical is a horror?
I guess you got me there.
I love the I love the idea of like Hideo Kojima, like, you know, bringing like the whole cast of Shrek the Musical on the stage and like, you know, like getting confused why no one's laughing and cheering because like he confused them for the real cast of the movies. He's like, why aren't you guys clapping? I got the cast of Shrek.
But I don't know what this.
anyways.
Yeah, so I don't know what this whole new form of media thing. It seems very pretentious to me, but
Well,
yeah.
but
he
I
said
like Kojima's game.
very similar. I remember he said very similar things before Death Stranding came out.
What,
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
I guess that is a
Exactly.
genre now. The
It's a
Stranding
Strand type game.
Yeah, the Strand genre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it?
That's what he. Yeah, that's actual genre now.
Yeah.
This is going to be the first overdose type game.
Yeah. You actually overdose.
The first peel type
Oh my
game.
God.
Yeah, it's interactive. You feel the effects when you.
Yeah.
All right.
it's,
I'm interested. I know the best part of this thing though. The best part of this reveal was the fact that Greg Miller predicted this.
Yes.
And they knew he predicted it because the camera panned on him and he had
Yes.
the biggest smile
Yeah.
on his face. I was cracking up. Like that was the best part. Like
That was so
I'm
good.
convinced he knew ahead of time.
yeah, he had to know.
to
He
have
had
known.
to. He called
He
it.
had
like,
to have known.
He said Jordan Peele is gonna make a horror game with Kojima. So yeah, he had to have known.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I love the fact that
Exactly.
the cameraman knew that he predicted it and actually panned on him when it happened. So
That was
Do you-
great.
do you-
That was really
Do you
great.
think like they just heard him say that and then Jordan
Yeah.
Peele flew out there as quickly as possible? Like we need to go. We need to get. We need
Go,
to
go,
get
go,
here."
go. like Kojima has that kind of power too. Kojima probably put like a bag over his head and like kidnapped him and put him on the plane.
Jordan Peele's like, what the fuck's going on? It's like,
Like-
oh, it's Kojima. Oh, okay, that's fine.
They take off like the mask off him like and like it's just Kojima sitting in the car like drinking like a martini or something. And he's just like
It's
Yeah.
the fucking no. It's the scene from The Dark Knight Rises at the start
which one?
when he's on the plane.
What the?
Oh yeah,
You know,
yeah.
when he's when he takes the
Oh,
flag off
right.
the guy's head. Yeah.
I wouldn't care who I was till I put on a mask. That's what he sounds like, right? That-
Yeah,
Yes,
pretty much.
pretty much.
Close
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah. Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right,
Cool, cool.
let's move on. The next game was Jurassic Park Survival, which really interested me because like I was always like to see a 3D cinematic Jurassic Park game, like but I'm curious what the gameplay is going to be because it didn't really tell us much. But from what I'm gathering, people are saying this is a survival horror game or a survival game. I don't. It looked really nice, but it's again not real gameplay. So
This
Yeah.
is Saber, isn't it?
is it Saber?
Is this the one I saw? I remember seeing Saber at the bottom of one of the end cards. I think it was for this game.
I'm pretty sure right after they did, or like not long after
Yeah,
they
Saber.
did Warhammer.
Yeah, it's Saber.
Oh, it is Saber. Okay.
Okay. Yeah,
I feel like
then
Saber's
that's,
weren't Saber
concerning.
also doing like the KOTOR remake?
I think they got moved on to that, but I think that's in the trash. now.
What did
Okay.
they make? Saber.
It's shelved.
Well, no,
Saber-
they've
World War
done
Z
the
dead.
World War Z game. They're doing the
Oh.
Space Marine 2 for Warhammer
Okay.
40k. Like they're not a bad developer at all, but they're just
Okay.
like they. I feel like at the moment that's why I was so surprised when I found out that they were doing the KOTOR remake because I was like,
Yeah.
those guys. Because like World War Z, I like Space Marine 2. That looks good. Like that fits their genre.
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah.
Survival horror, maybe.
I don't
Do
know
you
if that's
remember
true or not,
when?
though. Yeah.
Do you remember when Tim Willits left Bethesda and rode off into the sunset?
Yeah.
Yeah. Saber is where he went. Saber is
okay.
the sunset
Okay.
in that situation.
Okay. But we saw like maybe it was like 10 seconds of gameplay, like right at the end. It's first person. It looked like it's very cinematic though. So I need to see more. But like from what I saw, I was like, yeah, I'm into this. My first instinct was this a VR game because it looked like a VR game, but then maybe just because it's the first person nature of it. So
No, they would have said it was a VR game if it was a VR game.
yeah. All right, let's skip. I'm sure we're not gonna talk about Fortnite Rocket Racing, so let's skip
Nope.
that.
Aw.
Fortnite.
Unless you guys want a 3-hour show.
I do.
No.
Mitch doesn't. I know that.
The next thing they show was
Fortnite, huh? Sorry.
the next thing they show is
Sorry.
Black Myth Wukong, which once again super impressed me. I'm super hyped for it. It could be my game of the year next year. It's gonna be one of the best games of next year. I'm pretty confident this game is gonna be
It's going to be
very popular.
coming out 4 days before my birthday, and I do not want it, which feels like a cruel joke on me.
All right,
since I'm not
Dory.
really into Souls-like.
Since you don't like turn-based, now you do. Maybe the Souls games will start
No.
catching your eye.
See, I know
Yes,
why
yeah.
I won't like Souls-based, but
No, you just need to
turn-based,
find the right one.
Turn-based, I was making a judgment based on 9-year-old me playing Final Fantasy VII, which was not fair. So
Yeah,
Okay.
but you just need to find the right one, and it's like it just flips, you know.
This is probably not going to be the one, though, because I'd imagine this one's going to be one of the harder ones, because this feels like there's a lot going on. Like, this feels like Sekiro, kind of parrying and dodging
Yeah.
and all that junk. So, but, like, this game looks absolutely incredible. Like,
it does look
everything about it, I'm sold. Like, that's all I have to say. I'm sold. I'll
Yeah,
pre-order
I was
this year.
skeptical at first when they showed, because the first look we got at this game ever was on IGN.
Yes,
when they
I was
put up
skeptical,
a
too.
gameplay over it.
Yeah.
So my immediate first thought was vaporware, as I'm sure a lot of people.
I thought it was
Also
just
thought-
eye candy. I thought it was just like a technical demo showing off something. Like I didn't believe that it was like, oh, this is what it actually looks like. But every trailer has been consistent that it looks that good.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's I'm getting into that atomic heart phase where it's like it feels like vaporware at first, then it starts to materialize, and then it comes out, and we realize it was actually mediocre all along.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Atomic Heart, always gonna defend you, Dum Dum Club. Woo!
I hope not. But
That was a callback to way earlier in the year.
This
If you got
game-
back, congratulations.
I hope this game might be more popular than Lies of P. But I feel like this game is like that Lies of P, where Lies of P is incredible, but like it's going to be overlooked by like all the big games that came out. Now that maybe because next year is not as big as this year, that maybe this game is going to be one of the big game of the year
Well,
contenders.
yeah, I mean, spoilers, but Liza P got snubbed, so
I
you're
don't,
all right.
I don't think it got snubbed personally.
I mean, well, it did because it. Shut up.
Did you actually play Liza P, James?
Yeah.
Did you beat it?
Okay.
No, I
wow.
didn't beat it. No, but I
Oh.
played a decent amount of it.
Okay.
Okay, I mean that's something, I guess.
Thanks.
I would. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it when we get to the nomination stuff. All right. Let's skip Warframe. Did you guys already say anything about Ready or Not?
No,
No,
I'm not. I'm not
I
ready.
mean, it was
I'm
such
not
a
ready.
weird
No,
trailer for Ready or Not as well,
It was a
because
weird
like Ready or
trailer.
Not is like
It was very
because
weird.
like it doesn't fit the vibe of the game at all, because like the game's like very slow paced, very tense, and that this was like
Call of Duty.
not yeah okay, I was gonna say not Black Ops, Call of Duty Black Ops, because I was getting those vibes from a later trailer from similar devs, but it's basically like it gave me Call of Duty vibes.
Which I.
Why
yeah.
does the trailer end on a therapist looking like a Bond villain?
Yeah.
Yeah, are you ready? Like I don't know.
It did absolutely
I don't
nothing
know.
for me.
I
I couldn't roll my eyes more.
I also want to include, because I don't think this article has it, Outlast Trials was announced for its like 1.0 release for like I think March 24th,
Oh,
as well as a
great.
console release.
Anyway.
Could not be more excited. Hey James, I don't think we finished that first game, did we? Or the DLC, or the sequel.
No.
I mean,
Never again.
especially the sequel.
Never
that
again.
That gets all kinds of fucked up, I mean,
All right, let's move on. We want. I don't want to like run out of time.
yeah.
Next game was Tales of Kenzera, which was like a guy was talking about his dad. And he started getting emotional.
I'm sorry.
That's right.
You want to save time, and we're talking about Tales of Kenzera.
It looks pretty good. I think it looks. I like the color. I like the
It
color
was-
palette. Like it looks. The gameplay looks fun.
Look. The guy brought up Kingdom Hearts. Okay.
Yeah, he brought Kingdom Hearts.
As far as I'm concerned, he's cool.
No, actually.
I mean, he was
looks like a fun indie game.
He was the actor for Bayek in Assassin's Creed Origins, and
Yeah.
that's
I like the
that's-
guy. I actually like the
that's
guy.
what I know.
He was.
Dang games.
Oh yeah.
Respect the indies. Anyway, this comes
Yeah,
out.
James.
This comes out April 23rd.
Speaking of
oh, that's
respecting
it.
the indies,
Lost Records, Blooming Rain.
hell yeah, this looks really
Dory
cool.
and I were like, yes, this is our kind of game. Like this is our. This is like.
Fucking-
This is like the people that made Life is
Nod.
Strange. People that made Life is
Don't
Strange.
nod, baby. I'm hyped.
This
Yes.
looks really
Yeah,
cool.
this
This
is
looks
our
like the color purple meets like the idea of of like it, like with the being kids and seeing something traumatic and then coming back together way later. There's also like a movie
Yeah.
that's about that. I can't remember what it's called though. The one where they see a dead body and then they come back together as adults later on. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, and
But
it's got that
Yeah.
Life is Strange kind of. It's got the like not lens flare, but you know, like the kind of golden lighting.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
dramatic,
Yeah,
very
that
pronounced.
that sheen to it. Yeah.
It's very like
Yeah.
don't know. It's,
I
but,
love
like,
it.
it's
It looks
gorgeous,
great.
isn't it?
It looks
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Is
Yeah.
it like is this actually how the game looks, or is this just CG? Or
I
just
have
CG?
no
isn't
idea.
it?
This looks.
I
This
wanna
looks
say
in game to me.
In
This-
engine.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
Yeah,
looks,
it looks
You think?
in engine.
I can
Oh,
believe this is
I-
a game.
yeah.
I
love that.
do find it funny that like for the thumbnail, like of the one of the like blue reflections of like the I'm assuming like the kid versions looks like Will Byers from Stranger Things. Like it's got like that bowl haircut
Yeah.
and it's got the eyebrows.
That's what this game reminds
Anyways.
me of too.
Or maybe the vibe.
Yeah, just big Stranger Things vibes. Now do we? Because what is this Don't Nod or is this the other
Don't Nod.
studio?
No, it's don't know.
This is
Don't
Don't
Nod.
Nod.
There.
It is or
Yeah.
isn't?
No, it is.
It is,
It
yeah.
is. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, because we don't have confirmation of if/when the next Life is Strange game is coming out, do we?
I don't know, but I'm gonna throw out a hot take.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Don't Nod, the second best Life is Strange developer.
Who's
Huh.
the
Okay.
first being?
Uh,
What are they called? I
The
can't
other
remember
one.
what they're called.
Deck 19, Deck
Oh,
17,
Deck 9.
Deck
Deck
13.
9.
Deck 9.
Deck-
The other
Deck
one.
13.
They're called the other
Yeah,
one.
the other one. The other
Yeah,
one.
The other one.
the other one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that only because they made True Colors though, which is the best Life is Strange game.
I
Yeah.
do love True Colors.
I don't know if that's a hot take. I think most people think True Colors is the best one.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
I think most
Sure.
people think the second one's the worst, but
I
I quite like the second one. So,
I like the second one a lot.
but I do think it is the worst one. But I doesn't mean I don't like it. I actually do like
Yeah.
it very
Sure.
much.
Sure. It has issues. Alas.
All right, let's move on to the first Berserker. This game looked really good. I was
This looked fucking cool.
I love everything about the aesthetic of this game. I was like, what is this?
This looked like an anime Souls like. I don't know if I'll play it, but I love watching it.
Yeah.
It definitely a Souls game. Definitely a Souls
Yeah.
game.
Mm.
But the animation is so unique because it's like anime, but it's like really hyper realistic. But it has like a certain
Yes.
like shade to it, like a black shade to it. I don't know how to word it, but it just jumps out at you. It's like, wow, what is it? Like the physics of the hair and everything and the clothing. It just pops off the screen. Like,
Yeah, those hair physics were so good.
yeah, this looks like a really awesome game. I just hope it's not one of those like it's gonna be a Souls game, of course, but I hope it's not like gonna be like Neo 2, where it's like it's just incredibly hard and I just can't get into it. Like it's like overly like the difficulty spike is ridiculous. Like when like Wo Long, like the first boss is like the difficulty spike is so humongously high, and every other boss after that is like not as bad. It's like I just hate when they do that. I hope this game is a little more accessible. I don't need it to be easy. I'm just saying I hate when they just make the game look really awesome, but they always make it like freaking like really hard, not impossible, but really hard. And most people skip it because it's too hard for them. I think it's like Elden Ring was so popular because it was hard, but like it was like anyone could play it. Like you could still like get good at it. Like it was more accessible than the other Souls games. Where like some Souls games are just like so hard, it's like no one like it doesn't become as popular because people just feel like I don't want to deal with this. And
Yeah.
Anyway, Final Fantasy. Well, we got a bunch of Final Fantasy. I'll put it all together. First of all, we got the Apex Legends crossover, and that was like
No, that was second.
I know, but I'm just just get it out of the way. That was stupid. Jeff made it like a big thing out of it. Oh well.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is this? All right, and then
That's pretty cool. But
the Final Fantasy VII remake, Final Fantasy Rebirth. We finally got to see Vincent and Sid in 4K. That like I was like, yeah, because Vincent, I love
Very nice.
Vincent and Sid. Those are like the main characters.
Mhm.
We got a very beautiful song. We got to see Zach do stuff.
Yeah.
I can't really hit on anything because I don't want to spoil anything for you guys. but we got to see like all the locations like that I saw in Final Fantasy VII, the original. I was like, oh yeah, I know that, I know that, I know that. So it looks like Final Fantasy VII remake again, just like in new locations and stuff. So, like, the gameplay looked very similar. Obviously, they're not going to change the gameplay or anything, but it looks like open world Final Fantasy VII remake, and I'm all aboard. Like I'm beyond day one. Like I'm ready to pre-order it now. So
Yes. To spoil one of the awards, most anticipated game winner, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
yeah, that was like the easiest one
Yeah.
to predict, I think.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
for
best
sure.
adaptation
Yeah.
was the easiest one to predict.
Which one?
True.
Best adaptation.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean,
that's
like,
true.
who-
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Who could have? I mean, like, you know, like everyone knew. What's it called? Twisted Metal was gonna win. You know, everyone
of
knew.
course.
It's so obvious.
Saw it coming a mile away.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get to that.
So, what do you guys think about Final Fantasy VII? I mean, you guys are all excited for it.
I'm
so
in.
we don't have to.
I mean, I'm not just day one. I'm day zero. I'm day -1. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I couldn't get
You're
any
gonna-
more cool
you're
on
gonna
this
bust-
game if they literally brought fucking Sephiroth to my door and he stabbed me through my back or something crazy like that. That would never happen.
My only question to you guys is that like I know you're all excited about it, so but it's like, do you guys get like upset when you feel like they show too much in these trailers because they showed a lot, like or
Or it
if
all
they
went
did-
over my head.
or it's because
I
you have
don't
no,
fucking know.
or is
Yeah.
it because you have no context? Is it because you have no?
Yeah, I have
context?
no context.
Like, when they
I don't
show-
It's
fuck-
no
I mean,
context.
besides the last cut shot that they had with
Yeah.
Aerith and the Black Feather, I got that.
Because when they show
But
like
everything else,
so when
I don't
they
know.
show like Vincent, you're like, who is this? Or do you already know who Vincent was?
yeah, I was like, who is this? I mean, I
Okay.
kind of know who he is, but not really.
Okay.
Like,
I've
I know
seen him
he's
before.
from the Dirty
I-
Dirge, obviously.
the dirty.
He is.
Dirge.
He's Cloud with black hair.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the extent of my knowledge.
Okay.
I know so little about Final Fantasy like 7 especially
Okay.
that it's like the entire thing was just like, yep, it's
Yeah.
more Final Fantasy, and I'm sure that like when I actually see this in context, I'll still think, yep, this is more Final Fantasy.
Okay, so Mitch, the first thing you
Um,
need to know about Final Fantasy is for 7 is that it's
It's-
not the Final
yeah.
Fantasy.
Oh no!
Well,
God, this happens.
I mean, that happened.
Oh my,
he did say that in
oh.
16. The ending of 16, he's like, "This is your Final Fantasy." That was actually
know.
that was one of the best lines.
Is that
couldn't
was that
believe
actually
you
a
said
line
it.
in that game?
Yes.
Yes.
God, I'm glad I didn't finish it now. Fuck.
It's such a good game.
This is your Final Fantasy 16.
We were the Final
I
Fantasies
still
all along.
haven't. I still haven't gotten it yet, so it's
No, I'm looking.
on my Christmas wish list.
Doesn't
I
say
think
that.
so, but all right. Aw. I mean, to be
not
fair,
kinda
that sounds
disappointed,
like something Nomura would do, though. Is it Nomura
yeah.
No.
who does?
Wait.
Was it?
Yeah,
No.
yeah. Sure.
No.
It's
No.
partially
No.
Nomura.
It's Yoshi, isn't it? Yoshi.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nomura is
Yep,
the Kingdom
that-
Hearts and Final Fantasy
The,
7 remake.
the
Oh,
Oh, yeah, it was
that
the- it was the
fucking
guy
green
from Mario.
dinosaur.
Anyway,
yeah, the
Yep.
dinosaur.
let's skip Honkai. That's a mobile game, and Skull and Bones.
Let's also skip Skull and Bones. Yeah.
So speaking of vampires, Marvel's Blade.
Yeah.
Because
All right,
Vincent.
James, what did you think? Because I was dying to know what you. I was like, James must be so excited right now, and then we all laughed. For our audio listeners,
For audio
James
listeners, he
just
left.
got- Yeah, he
He
left.
changed the camera. He turned the camera up.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I had mixed feelings about this. I don't know. It looks good, I guess, but I'm not happy about it.
Yep.
I'm with the James camp in this one. I feel
Oh.
I'm sure Arcane will do a good job. That's not in doubt, remotely. But
we
I
wanted
just
Deathloop too.
I just
I'm good on that
I
one.
feel like the thing I'm at with the moment is that I feel like Marvel games are doing such a rapid expansion, it seems, with like, you know, going out
Yeah.
to so many different publishers and developers and like well-known developers as well. But it's like there's no. That's the thing. It's like its biggest strength and weakness is that there's no consistency. It's like I get it. It's like it's great to have some diversity, different genres and stuff, but it's like at the same time, do I really want a Captain America and Black Panther game set in World War II? Like I have no doubt that it'll probably be good, but do I really want that? Over
Yeah, no. The jarring thing about that is also like the fact that there is also a Black Panther game in development, isolated.
and
from
an
that.
Iron Man game.
Of course, I mean,
And
yeah, Marvel's gonna get into video games for sure. Like that's just
Yeah, and
These
it's
are popular.
and it's like I think the thing about it as well is that, again, there's no gameplay. There's no indication that it's coming out even remotely soon. And I feel like that's the one thing that PlayStation have somewhat learned these past few years, is that wait to show, like, for the most part, wait to properly show something or announce something until it's closer to its release date.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is,
Because then you can actually give gameplay and... Yeah.
It's a double-edged sword because 6 months out, I think, is the sweet spot. But also, if you wait until then, Jason Schreier is gonna come and stab you in the back while you sleep.
I mean, to be fair, I heard leaks about this being like, you know, Arcane's next game like a day or so beforehand. I don't think it was from Jason Schreier, but still, like, yeah.
Well,
exactly.
it was probably him on his alt account.
Yeah, look. Here's my take. Shockingly similar to Mitch and James. Actually, I don't really have many strong feelings about this, but most of them are not super positive, and that's partially because I'm not big into Arcane games anyway. But I'm also not really big into Blade. I never watched the movies. The closest I ever got to being a Blade fan, and Seb will appreciate this, is the '90s Spider-Man cartoon, where he showed up for like 2 episodes and. Then he was never there again. Look, I'm not saying I dislike Blade. I'm not saying he's not cool as hell, because obviously he is. There is nothing more fucking badass than when I forget if it's in Blade 1 or 2 or something like that, but like the police try to like shoot Blade.
Yes,
Blade
and he
1,
looks
yes.
at them. He's like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Like that's awesome."
The first one.
No. He's like, motherfuckers, you blind? You blind? It's like we're like bulletproof
Yeah.
vest.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen that, but I've
Yeah.
seen the bit where he goes, "Some motherfuckers always trying to ice skate uphill."
That's the first movie.
That's right.
That's the same
Yeah,
movie.
that's right.
Same movie.
So anyway, all to say, Blade's very cool. I'm sure this game's gonna be good, but I'm not really into Arcane, and this didn't make me feel anything.
I mean,
really.
they already confirmed that this is going to be third person, so already that's something different for Arcane.
Yeah. The funny-
I suppose as far as you can call it different.
The funny thing is that when people think of that, like that's like more Wesley Snipes than Blade. Like Blade's more serious. He's not as goofy as
For sure.
Oh, he's not.
Just
He's not
talking
goofy in the
about-
movies either, but he's more like those movies have like a weird balance
Animated.
of like
Animated, yeah.
Those movies are very serious movies, but they're also like there's some they just have to throw comedy in there like randomly, and
those were, like,
it makes it even
most
funnier.
popular
It
moments.
makes it even funnier because it's so serious of a movie. Well, I'm a huge Blade fan. I grew up with the movies. Blade Trinity sucks, but Blade 2 was one of my favorite guilty pleasure movies. Del Toro directed it. It looks like a Del Toro movie. I love it. The first movie doesn't age well at all, but Blade 2 I think is actually a really fun fantasy horror movie. How I feel about this is that I'm not like hyped for it. I'm definitely curious.
No.
I am definitely curious. It's people made Deathloop, and Deathloop was a pretty good game. I think it was a little overrated, obviously, because people say it was like 10 out of 10. And I thought it was like 7.5, 8 out of 10.
Deadpool, you mean?
No, Deathloop. Did I say Deathloop? What was that?
Oh, sorry, Deathloop. No. You that makes more sense. I thought you said you thought Deadpool was like.
Oh, no. Deathloop.
Deathloop. In which case, I'd say I'd agree, but
Yeah.
Deathloop was great.
My
Loved
question,
Deathloop.
a couple questions I have. Cause, first of all, what is Blade doing in Paris? The guy talking was a lot of fun. Like he kicked at the camera and stuff. He was trying to go for the Joseph Ferris kind of moment on.
yeah,
Blade is
it
in
didn't really
Paris
leave.
because Arcane Leon is based in Paris.
Right, I assume that, but I was like, why is
Or-
Blade in Paris? Like, so like, are they gonna
I mean,
explain?
to be fair,
Paris.
it beats New York for like the 15 billionth time.
Sure, but
They can't really do. Yeah, they probably don't want to do New York because Spider-Man is in New York, and they're like,
No.
we can't really.
and then I'm thinking like,
What
well,
is the point of that?
Arcane. This is not the same Arcane, but Arcane just did Redfall, and they already did a bad vampire game.
Yeah, that's what the
Yeah,
website we're looking at notes. That's really gutsy
Very
to do
soon,
a vampire video
Yeah.
game right after Redfall.
But
I didn't even make that connection, to be honest.
No,
But,
neither.
but that's not even the big story, because the big story is the fact that Bethesda is being very, and Microsoft is being very shady of how
Cagey.
they're cagey of not explaining why, like not saying it's exclusive. They're not. They refuse to answer that it's exclusive. Now I'm pretty certain it is exclusive because it's first party. But they're being they're dodging the question.
I would not be surprised at all if Marvel Games is trying to fight to get this to be multi-platform, especially because they have so many connections to Sony and PlayStation.
I agree.
I feel like that's what's happening behind the scenes, and like they
Yes.
wanted to go to Arcane Leon, and potentially may have even gone to them about this game like before the acquisition was even finalized or happened.
Yeah.
And now that that's kind of in place, they're like, well, we want this to be multi-platform, yada yada yada.
Well, I noticed that Rise of the Ronin is not on this list, so I'll just use that as a transition. I wish they gave Blade like Team Ninjas to do that. Like their gameplay is so much fun. The people that do like the Neo games like that.
Okay, I can actually.
Yeah,
I mean, like
that'd be fire.
I can for like the sword combat stuff side of things. Yeah, no, I can see that. That'd be good.
I don't think Marvel is going to be going after any Japanese developers anytime soon.
Sure. No, I'm just saying.
Which is a
if I had to
shame.
pick
They're
one,
lost.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
for sure.
But I agree.
Like, that's not mainstream enough.
Right. I agree with Mitch though. If it is not exclusive, I feel like Disney's like saying like, well, the user base is not big enough. We want to make money because obviously PlayStation can get away with it with Spider-Man because Spider-Man's like an A-list, A+ list.
I mean, the other thing as well is that, like, if it's an Xbox exclusive, it'll be on Game Pass, and Game Pass naturally would not make them as much money, or at least as much cut of money, if it were also on other platforms and could be sold for full price and with a bunch of additions and such.
Because it did not say Game Pass, and then we all assume it will be because Microsoft game. But it did not say Game Pass.
Well,
it did not say exclusive. It didn't say anything. And Xbox fans were mad.
The funny thing, I've started to read through this very good book. It like goes through like the entire history of like Marvel Studios, pre-MCU and stuff. One thing, like without going on too big of a tangent, one thing I read in that seems to be history repeating itself here is that one of the big financial problems Marvel got themselves into in the late 90s and the early 2000s with movies like Blade and X-Men and even the first Spider-Man movie is that because when they were going through their bankruptcy, they sold all their characters and IPs off to different studios to make movies and stuff off of them. When those movies came out, the studios got the bulk of the profits. Marvel only got a very slim percentage. And hence why they created their own studios, because, if we make them ourselves, we keep all the profits, yada, yada, yada.
Sure.
I wonder if that's what's happening here. If that Marvel games... I mean, I don't know how it differentiates, because Marvel's a much more established corporation at this point.
Yeah.
But I wonder if that's what's happening here, is that, they're selling it out to all these different publishers and developers and stuff. And the problem they're running into here is that, especially if it goes on Game Pass, they're going to get fuck all.
Yeah. Well, two quick tangents. First of all, Blade was very successful in Marvel. Like, Blade was, saved, it saved the superhero genre in movies. Like, that was in 98. That was big.
Yeah.
Second...
Marvel just got...
Yeah, just got a small percentage of it.
Yeah.
And then, second, oh, no, I'm blanking. Disney's not doing well right now. Like, they're struggling. They had a really bad year. They had a very awful year. Most of their movies bombed at the box office. Marvel's was MCU's
Disney,
big.
I don't know.
They're not going bankrupt or anything. They're struggling. Like they're not doing well right now. Like
they're not on top.
Yeah, they're not on top.
Probably not meeting their target.
No.
But they're
I don't mean like the typical right wing whining about movies being woke. I mean like their movies are all bombing, so the casual audience is not showing up to their movies anymore. So my point is
they're no longer.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, you go. I was gonna say they're no longer in their comfortable seat of power like they were 2, 3, 4 years ago.
Exactly, and so what I'm saying is I think Disney's gonna be more strict with like license and like what they're gonna invest in. If they feel like the game is not going to sell well, they're going to be a little more extra strict. They're going to be like, I don't want to invest all this money in in a platform that only has 30,000 people, 30 million people, and like how many people are going to play it? It's on a subscription service. My point is, I'm curious like what what's going on behind the scenes with the deals and stuff like that.
So, yeah. 100%.
Disney can be like, I'd rather you be on all platforms. Like let's say it can be on Game Pass, but it has to be on PlayStation too. So PlayStation players will buy it, and then if the Xbox players want it, they can play it on Game Pass. so you can have that option. I'm
Yeah,
curious
exactly.
what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because they're not answering the question. Yeah. So.
No.
All right, let's move on. You guys have anything to say about the Last Sentinel? There's like this.
No.
From the developers, the Rockstar developers, the ex-Rockstar developers.
This
which is
was
all I have
like-
to say about that.
I will say this was like the last hour, basically, of the Game Awards, and it fell way off for me. I know we're not talking about it overall yet, but like I'm looking at all these games that are coming up on the website that we're using, Rock Paper Shotgun. I don't care about any of these games. Now I know that's me. Lots of people love Monster Hunter, but I don't care about any of these games.
You know what?
Yeah.
We'll just say. Well, so we don't have to keep going through a bunch of games that we don't really care about as much. Is there anything else on this list that you want?
I don't want to speak for everybody. Just me.
Yeah, like is there anything that jumps at you?
There was I did find. I mean, Den of Wolves seems like an interesting concept. It gave me a lot of like Black Ops vibes, like what do the numbers mean, Mason? That kind of interrogation style. Again, cinematic trailer. Not really much to go home about. Exoborn. Sorry, did anyone have anything else to say about Den of Wolves or?
No,
No.
it looks
I'm with
No.
interesting.
Yeah, aesthetic looks cool, but I need to see gameplay.
Yeah,
The numbers, Mason.
Yeah.
exactly.
And Exoborn, we were watching the show and I was like, I swear to God, if this is an extraction shooter. And then they said
fucking
that was an
extraction
shooter. And I'm like, no.
Even the title just
it's like
even the title tells me that. Like even the title is like generic.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I know it's this typical multiplayer shooter. Like it just screams
exactly.
generic to me. I don't know.
I thought this
It's
was.
like
I thought this one was the Surge 3 at first.
I can see that.
Yeah, no, I can see that. I can see that. It looks like what's his face from Game of Thrones, Nicholas Winding Refn, if that's how you
that's
pronounce
the
his name.
director.
It's like
You're thinking of the
Oh fuck yeah, I am too.
You're thinking of the guy who played the guy who lost his hand.
Yeah, and who
Yeah.
pushed a kid out the window. That's
I'm
really
not
as far
even
as
gonna try
into
and
Game of
pronounce
Thrones
his
I watched.
name.
The blonde guy with the beard, the handsome guy, that one, that
Yeah,
fella.
the guy who everyone
it
liked
looks like
until they
him.
didn't in season 8.
People wanted him to be Joel
Uh,
in the Last of Us show. Like he was like everybody's
Yeah.
favorite casting for the
Him and
longest
Hugh
time.
Jackman, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that would have been a great choice though. He's
And
he's a
then-
great actor.
Yeah,
yeah.
I agree.
All right.
And then they got Mr. Fantastic.
So yeah.
Anyways.
So then Sean Murray came out and once again,
Oh, yeah.
they're making a new game. They're called Light New Fire.
Like no fire.
Light No Fire, yeah.
Light No Fire.
And
Or No Man's Sky.
people are like, no,
It should have
no.
been called
you're-
No Man's Land.
People are
The answer was right there.
people are
Should've
like,
been called
oh,
No Man's Land.
People are like, oh no, why are you over promising again? Like it's like No Man's Sky had a big comeback and everything, but it's like now you're promising
Yeah.
Earth. Like you're
He's
promising
like, we're gonna make the whole
world.
world.
I'm like, oh no. But
Uh-oh.
No Man's Sky is an incredible game now. Like it's really you rarely see games go from like extremely mediocre to like one of the best games ever. It did seamless
Yeah.
transitions to planets better than Starfield did. So
Yeah.
I mean, it did it better than
That's
Starfield.
not a high bar,
Starfield didn't
but
have.
I know, but like
Yeah.
Starfield had like it was saying like oh there's thousands of planets and galaxies and all that. No Man's Sky that just
Already
did
did
that
that and-
seamlessly.
yeah.
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 Sean Murray is now playing God. Literally.
He is God.
He has
He's
more.
got the whole world in his hands.
He can get away with it now because I feel like they've learned their lesson, and I feel like this game won't get off to as bad of a start. I think Sean Murray.
You'd hope, yeah.
Because when you watch like documentaries and stuff about like what happened and everything, he comes off as a douchebag like in the beginning, but like you realize like he doesn't mean that. Like he's just a little
No.
socially awkward, and he's easy to root
Yeah.
for. He's easy to root for now. But there was a narrative
Def-
against him when No Man's Sky bombed
Yeah.
because he was on all the talk
Definitely.
shows and stuff. Anyway, Stormgate, that's RTS. You guys probably don't care about that.
Pass.
The big thing about that one was the celebrity cameo where he was just talking too long.
Oh, was that
Dude,
Steve Lear?
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
With the broken foot.
Yeah, with the broken foot.
Oh, right.
So that's like the
Oh,
only thing I got out of
God.
that. The finals. Have you guys played the finals?
I-
Anyone?
I have played the finals.
I tried playing one match and I quit halfway through. It is not a game
Yeah,
for
so
me.
Yeah.
the first match was rough for me as well, but then I played some more,
Yeah.
and it got
Mm.
better. It did get better.
Okay, okay.
So
I haven't
you need to
I
get,
haven't
like,
deleted it yet, so
it-
I'll have
it-
to. I'll give it another shot.
you need to get the right map and stuff, and like and the right game mode.
Is it
And
out,
it can be a
Yeah.
lot
or is it
fun.
just like a beta?
No, it's out.
No,
It's
no,
out.
it's
out,
out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But it's yeah, it's Joe. The trailer was. I mean, I played it before I actually watched the trailer, but the trailer was really good. Actually, I do want to say that.
Is it free
really
to play?
well edited and put together trailer.
No, it's
Yes,
yeah,
free
free
to
to play.
Okay.
Replay.
Maybe I'll check it out.
Get it downloaded.
Mm.
Check it out.
Yeah.
It's like 10
It's good
gigabytes.
fun.
Yo,
Yeah,
I,
not
I,
even.
I don't have that issue anymore. Now that I have 9 terabytes on my PS5.
Oh right.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're never gonna need that.
I download every PS5 game on my hard drive just for the sake of it. I still have like 5 terabytes left.
Wow.
I was gonna
You've
say
used
GTA
4
6.
terabytes already?
GTA
Jesus
6
Christ.
is gonna
Yeah.
GTA 6 is gonna come out, and that's already gonna take up 2 terabytes in itself.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
the next Call of Duty and GTA alone is like 3 terabytes. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
over.
and then finally, Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm not a big Monster Hunter fan. I try everyone, and they just don't click with me. It's just not my kind of game. Like I know they're huge. It's Capcom's biggest franchise now.
It's an acquired taste.
Yeah, but it's
Um,
huge. I mean, it's bigger than Resident Evil now, and it's insane to say that, but it's actually their highest selling franchise now.
Yeah, it was when it came out. Certainly, Monster Hunter World was the best selling Capcom game of all time.
Yep.
But yeah, the Monster Hunter Wilds is. I mean, it looks like this is like going to be the sequel to Monster Hunter Worlds
Yep.
or World.
It's gonna be a big hit.
This is the next big one on like main platforms, PlayStation and Xbox and so on.
Yeah.
And it looks good. It's not coming out until 2025, but
Yep.
it looks fun. There's not much to say about it as well. I mean, it just kind of looks
Yeah.
like more Monster Hunter World.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Yes, but
Which is what you want sometimes, but
Oh yeah, no, that is good.
Good move-
news.
good
Get a new
move.
map and everything.
very good move by them to put it in 2025 because Dragon's Dogma 2 is their big game next year, and it looks like a huge game. You don't want to overshadow
Mm.
you don't have 2 giant games overshadowing each other, so it was a good move to put it in 2025. Probably a good move to put it, like I would if I was them, I'd probably do it early 2025, capture like that Q1
Yes,
window.
I believe that's the time slot that World came out in.
Yeah,
as
I
well.
think so, and that
Start of the
sold
year,
really
so-
well doing that. Yeah,
Yes.
'cause you don't
Definitely.
want to
There's-
like
but like there's not much.
yeah, you don't want to shove
Woo,
everything. You don't
so-
want to shove everything in October, because that's how you cannibalize your own sales. So, anyway,
Yes.
so that's pretty much all the announcements. Oh, I mean, I hit on Rise of the Ronin. I'm excited about that game. Like, it's PlayStation's big exclusive second party game next year with Stellar Blade. It looks like it looks like a Souls. It's another Souls game. It's gonna be
Yes. Those look good.
it's not gonna be for everybody, but it looks great. But the graphics don't
Yeah.
look. The graphics look dated, but the gameplay is gonna be fun. So I think that saves that. Comes out the same exact
yeah.
day. It comes out the same exact day as Dragon's Dogma 2. So
Oh really? I didn't even see the release date for that.
yeah, it comes out in March, I believe. So all right. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they would come out the same day. Now we're talking about the nominations and the winners. I know there's a big controversy about what was picked, but obviously this is a stacked year and something's got to be left out. I mean, this is like this is arguably the greatest video game year ever. I guess we'll just go down from top to bottom. I guess we'll start with game of the year.
Okay, the big one.
Yes.
You know, people are gonna click off as soon as we do this, and then
It's true. So
Yeah,
maybe
I
we'll-
think we
lose
should
all
start from the
engagement.
bottom up. Let's
go-
do the bottom up.
let's go from bottom up then. Okay.
go from yeah.
All right, so
bounce
let me
out.
go all the way to. Let's skip the esports crap because I had no idea when Draft Punks wanted us to do that predictions. I didn't know any of these people, so I just randomly guessed.
Do you want to start a player's voice, or do you want to start
Yeah, I
higher
think we
than
should
that?
start at player's voice. We start at the bottom,
Yeah.
then work our way up.
No.
Yep.
I'm gonna player's voice. Where's that one?
Right at the bottom.
It's
Oh,
right at the bottom.
Okay. Yeah, player's voice. No surprise. Baldur's Gate 3.
Baldur's Gate.
I mean that game is a huge seller and it's game. To me.
I want to know the breakdown. I'm very curious. Do we know what the breakdown on the vote is, or is it that anywhere?
No, there's no breakdown. They
Okay.
never reveal that. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
The only other chance of, I mean, Marvel, Spider-Man, and Zelda would have had a shot, but Baldur's Gate's just more popular. Overall, I guess.
Yeah.
With the hardcore gamers. Best adaptation. What a shock! Last of Us. Like
Last of Us.
the only other.
Deserved.
You know what?
Yeah.
I knew it wasn't going to win, but I was really pulling for Gran Turismo.
The real life adaptation.
The people that follow me on my timeline and Twitter and stuff,
Just
they were all rooting for Castlevania.
Yeah,
But
I can respect that.
yeah, me too. But I think the only other thing that had a chance of winning was Mario. But
Fuck no.
But the last,
No.
I think it had a chance because it was like
No.
It was the most popular.
No chance. No chance.
But Last of Us obviously was a lot.
Yeah,
was a
Last
lot.
of Us won, and it should have won, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah, that was a lock. Most anticipated game. We already hit on a lot of these, so that's why I'm rushing it.
Obviously, Hades 2, everybody. Come on, Hades 2.
Stop
I
it.
thought it was going to be Hades 2.
Oh really?
Really?
No, I was confident it was
Yeah.
Final Fantasy.
Hades
I
2,
knew it was
I thought
Final
Hades
Fantasy,
was
I
like
wanted to be Hades 2.
I thought Hades 2 was like Silk Song levels of hype.
Yeah, it should be at this point,
Yeah, but
in my opinion.
my thing is though is that's hype for like the hardcore audience, but is the general video game audience like Hades 2 hype? Like is that game gonna sell like gangbusters like Final Fantasy does?
Yeah, I guess that's where I got it
Probably not.
wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Different audience, you know what I mean? Twitter is more vocal about Hades than like the general.
All right, we're not doing esports shit. We don't care
Best
about any of
esports
that.
team. Go.
No.
JD Gaming.
Content creator of the
If
year. Let's
anyone knows
go.
who they are. What?
I got all these wrong. I got
All right,
the
best multiplayer was
I
weird,
got one of
right?
them right actually.
I got the
Who
Potter.
thought
I got the
Baldur's Gate was
Potter
gonna
one
win that
right.
one?
I got I think I got best esports athlete.
I
Correct.
think I got that one too. I
Um,
put Faker. So I think I got that one too.
Faker.
No, I got content
Whoever the
creator.
fuck that is.
I got content creator right, and I had no idea who these people. I just guessed. I'm like, I don't know these
Content
people.
creator was an anime character.
Yeah, I knew she was.
Bizarre.
I kind of knew she was popular, so I just picked her. But my thing is, I'm a huge gamer. I play like hundreds of games and stuff. But it's like I don't ever get into that whole Twitch, like
Yeah, I don't either.
streaming audience. It's just as big of a gamer as I am. I don't get into all that stuff. So
Yeah, I thought content creator was going to be people make games because it's the only one I've heard of and the only one I assume that makes interesting quality content. Shame upon me for thinking that. Anyway,
yeah, best multiplayer game was Baldur's Gate 3. I thought it was gonna be Street Fighter. 6.
Yeah, I definitely thought it was gonna be Street Fighter or Mario Wonder. I did not think it'd be Baldur's Gate.
thought-
That was weird.
I thought it was going to be Call of Duty.
It wasn't even. I thought you were gonna say Party Animals.
Oh, it should have been Party Animals.
Yeah, like I would. I mean, Baldur's Gate 3 has good multiplayer. Mario Wonder, like that's one of the weakest part of the game. Is the multiplayer is not the best. Like it's okay, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not a strength.
Yeah,
of it.
I think. I mean, I knew Baldur's Gate 3 was going to win this simply by the fact that it's Baldur's Gate 3. Like multiplayer.
Yeah, I
Be
should have
damned.
figured that. Yeah.
They got 6 fucking awards. I mean, it was incredible.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Sorry.
Best
I didn't say which awards.
best strategy game. I picked Pikmin 4, and it did win. So
Well done.
Nice.
well deserved.
Well
Good
proud
job.
of you, Seb.
Well deserved. Yeah. But that was a hard one to pick because you could have made a case for any of those games besides City Skylines. I know people didn't care for that one. Best sports game. What a shock. Forza. I mean, nothing else even has a chance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hot Wheels was robbed.
Hot Wheels games, don't sleep on them. They're pretty fun.
Yeah, they are.
Hang on a
pretty
sec. They made a second Hot Wheels game?
Yeah, they made.
Yeah,
a
they
second one.
did.
Yeah.
Well, shit.
Yeah.
fun. And that
Well,
sums
thank
up
you,
this
bud.
category, everybody.
There you go.
Even the guy who's into the fucking category the most on
and it-
this podcast.
And
What?
I thought it was I wasn't crazy about the new Forza. Like I think it's a solid game, but I've played better Forza games.
Yeah, I thought it
personally.
was shit.
Oh, you feel the shit now? Because I remember that you were saying you were kind of like, well about it, but now you just don't like it at all.
I think I was trying to be nice
Oh, okay.
when we did that.
Best family game. This one was easy to pick. Super Mario Brothers Wonder was definitely gonna win this one
Yeah.
because this category is really just the Nintendo category. What
Yeah.
best Nintendo
Yeah.
game? Best Nintendo
Have
game?
you ever lost?
No.
Like last year, I'm pretty sure 4 of the 5 nominees were Nintendo games.
Yeah, they usually
I'm
are.
pretty sure they never lose this category.
Yeah, this is the non-Zelda Metroid like Nintendo category. Like obviously Zelda,
Yeah.
they're not gonna put Zelda in this, so you give it to Mario. Best fighting game, Street Fighter 6, one of the best fighting games of all time. Got like a 90 something on Metacritic. The only other chance was Mortal Kombat. But Mortal Kombat lacks content, so on and so forth.
And
So
the Switch port, enough said.
yes,
Best
but
RPG. Any guesses, folks?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Sea of Stars. Everybody, Sea of Stars.
But you know what? Funnily enough, no, I didn't win.
so we talked about this on the other podcast episode, but I still disagree with leaving Octopath Traveler 2 off this list. That game got
Yeah.
snubbed in every category. Like that game
I
deserved.
would have taken out Liza P. Or
Liza P
Starfield
should not be
as well.
there, even though it's a great
Yeah.
game.
I'm
It's
gonna
not
be
our
honest.
opinion.
I completely forgot Octopath Traveler 2 came out this year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you.
It's incredible. It really is. Like, the soundtrack should have been nominated, and it should have been. If there's any category you put it in, it's RPG. Like, why would you put
If there's
Liza
like
P?
one thing that Seb would like stereotypically like get upset about as like a capital G gamer, it
Yeah.
would definitely be
I said
Octopath
that. Like
Traveler.
the one, I wasn't one of those people that got upset about all the nomination, but the one thing I really was upset about was that Octopath Traveler got snubbed like everything, and
Yeah, for sure.
and you can make a case that Final Fantasy 16 could be put in the action category and not RPG. I mean, I don't mind 16 being in the RPG category, but
It's
you could have put it in the action.
some of those quests, my guy. Some of those quests. That is an RPG if I ever saw one.
You could have put it in both. Like I said, I would have put it in. I would have personally put it in the RPG category. So I'm happy with all those nominees except for Liza P. I think Liza P. just doesn't belong in that category. Best action adventure. I said this on the podcast. I was very certain it was going to be Legend of Zelda because the key word is adventure. I know people were saying it was going to be Alan Wake 2, but I was like, the adventure part, even though there's a lot of adventure in that game, Zelda's all about the adventure. So I was pretty confident that was
The
going to be
whole
that.
game is adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah, plus Alan Wake 2 gets its due later on. So
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
Best action game. I think we all predicted Armored Core. Or I think,
I wanted,
but Dory wanted Hi-Fi Rush. I think.
I wanted Hi-Fi Rush to win so bad.
I thought
So
it would
cool.
be Hi-Fi Rush as well. I thought this would be their bone that they got thrown.
Yeah.
I was pretty certain because it's from software.
I will say the best action adventure game that was Tears of the Kingdom getting their kind of like consolation prize instead of getting Game of the Year.
And that's what I said. That's what I said. That's what I said on the podcast. I actually said it on the podcast. I was like, the consolation
best
prize
action
is going to be that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Innovation and accessibility. I voted for Street Fighter 6 because Street Fighter has a really good accessibility. I don't know much about Forza's accessibility.
I would have voted Marvel, so I was just as surprised as you were.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know, but I voted for. I thought it would be Forza
Okay.
because I've heard that it was going to be Forza. I guess.
The next one threw me out for a loop. Like I did okay. I thought I'd bomb all my predictions and I ended up getting like third place or something. So I did pretty well.
Yeah.
But Resident Evil Village.
Third.
Yeah, it was a tie. It was like a big tie. It was like 3-4 people tied. But you know what I'm saying? Like I thought I was like the bottom. I thought I bombed all my predictions. But Resident Evil Village winning best VR just threw me for a loop.
I really saw this coming. A lot of people, I think, would have said Horizon, right?
That's what I said. Or Synapse.
I said Humanity.
Wow.
Because I thought they'd get something.
That's a pretty good game.
Nah.
But I don't think of
Humanity
VR
never
though.
really gets anything. Historically speaking, I feel like Humanity never gets anything. So
That's a good game. It was actually a really good puzzle game. It's just that like I don't think of VR when I think of it. I just Synapse and
fair.
Synapse and Horizon
No.
are the two
when I think about Humanity, I think of like war and famine and sitcoms, all that good
That's
stuff.
that is a cynical,
Yeah.
cynical view.
Synapse is one of the most underrated games of the year, by the way.
Never
Best-
heard of it.
Yeah, it's a shooting VR game. Best community support. I didn't know what to pick for this one, so it doesn't surprise me. Baldur's Gate one because people love their Larian and everything.
Yeah. I will say
I didn't know
the
what to
best
pick. I
community
guessed.
support absolutely makes sense for Baldur's Gate. I mean, I could see this going another way with Final Fantasy. Well, yeah, because if you pay attention to like all the hot fixes, all the patches,
Yeah, Larian's
all
good.
the dialogue. Like Larian has been on.
I should
top
have
of that shit.
picked them because yeah.
I'm not
makes so much
saying they
sense.
should have won. I don't have a big dog in this fight or whatever. That's a horrible. I hate that metaphor. But I think they deserve to win. So.
Yeah.
In hindsight, I like No Man's Sky already got its praise. Final Fantasy 16. I think they mean 14 on that list.
Yeah, they do.
Already got its credit. It says 16. The biggest problem with that category is that the fact that they nominated Destiny 2 in the same time where they laid off all those people. That was just a bad. That was a bad look.
That's the only thing I got really upset about.
Yeah.
Game Awards.
Yeah.
I thought that was really shitty.
We'll talk about
In
it.
their defense,
Yeah.
it's best community support, not best your own developers support.
They literally fired the person who handled community.
James, are you
stuff.
sure you're not the CEO of Bungie? 'Cause that's probably what he said. That's probably what the CEO of Bungie
Rupert
said.
was literally in the fucking audience. I was like, what are you doing?
Most mobile game was Honkai. I don't say Honkai.
Honkai.
That was easy pick. That was the biggest mobile game of the year. So everybody.
I had no idea. Who cares, man? We don't play mobile games.
I don't either, but I knew that game was big enough where I know that even though I don't pay attention to mobile games. Best indie debut indie game, I thought it was Dredge and Cocoon won, which Cocoon deserves it. It's a good game.
Leave the hype.
So I was happy with that pick, but I got it wrong. Moving on.
Best indie game.
I was so happy about this.
I was so
happy.
I voted for it and it won. So I was.
See who would win when it was coming.
Sea of Stars is the best indie game of the year, in my opinion.
It's so good, so fucking good. I love Sea of Stars so much.
It could be in my top 10.
It's not even on my top 10. I could
spoilers.
talk its praises forever, and it's not even on my top 10.
But yeah,
Best ongoing game. I
knew it was.
I always call this the Final Fantasy 14 award.
Yeah, me too.
And I assumed it would be the same again this year, but no.
Yes, I picked Cyberpunk to win because I expected it to win, but if I had to pick myself, it would have been. I think even though I don't play Fortnite, Fortnite had a really good year. Like they had a very strong year. Like Fortnite players are very happy with Fortnite. Like I know the Fortnite players were pissed that, like they picked Cyberpunk, a single player game, over them, but I don't care about stuff Fortnite. I don't play it, but I know it had a really good year. So.
Yeah, but this is a firmly anti-Fortnite podcast, so you can't just switch sides.
Or at least indifferent. I don't care about.
Yeah, I'm indifferent.
I'm indifferent to it.
I'm somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
All right, Games for Impact. I was so happy Chio won.
This was cool.
Chia is a great game. It has its flaws, but it's a very quality game. I totally recommend you guys play it at some point. It was on Plus for free. I didn't play a lot of these games, so I didn't I don't know much to say about it. I know Dory. I know Dory beat
I don't even know
Goodbye
if it's possible.
I know you beat Goodbye Volcano High.
I know, and I would have voted Goodbye because honestly, it's a really great game that includes a lot of really cool themes and really inclusive stuff without, feeling heavy about that, or whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
I know it had a lot of controversy and a lot of developmental hell, but I think it came out a great game on the other end.
Yeah,
which is incredible.
I beat Chia and I got the platinum in Venba. Venba was very fun, not fun, but it was a very good, not very good. How can I say it? It was a good 1 hour cultural experience. You get to
I've
cook.
never heard of A Space for the Unbound. I've never heard of Chants of Sonar. The other ones, Terra Nil, I'd never heard of before.
Yep. So for people listening to this, indie fans, don't kill us.
Sorry.
It was a very busy year.
I've literally played games this year and been the most plugged into video games I think I've ever been in 20 years. I've never heard of some of these games.
I feel like last year I played a lot of indie games, and this year it was more about the AAA just because there was so many left and right.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I work full time, so I got to pick and choose. All right, best performance. I did not expect this to happen, but I guess it's not a surprise in the same. I think everybody was deserving here.
Yeah,
except Melanie, I don't know.
Except for Idris Elba, because he didn't even show up.
Yeah,
they had a stock fucking photo.
They had the stock photo of it. It made all of us laugh when we saw it.
Yeah,
it's
so funny.
But Neil Newman won for Asterion.
Neil Newman.
Newbin.
Neil Newbon.
Newbon. Is it Newbon? I would say Newbin. Newbon.
Yeah, well, maybe it's Newman. I don't know.
Yeah.
Newman.
Anyway.
Oh, I thought you said Newman.
No, I said Newman.
Seinfeld. Okay. Yeah, I misheard you. Newman.
Like, yeah, his voice is like iconic at this point. Like Hysterian's voice is like always.
It's so funny.
It's gonna be remembered forever.
After like 5 or 10 hours in my party, and after I got done beating it, everyone loved Hysterian.
Yeah, he was in my party.
Fight me.
Yeah, he was in my party most of the game, and Dory didn't even have him in her party.
I know. Still ground.
Personally, for me though, I wanted Ben Starr to win, and that's why I voted him. I thought he was gonna win because he had all the internet like popularity, like everybody was like dying for him to win. He was saying all because he was, but he won. He won my heart, and he had the best meme of 2023.
And yeah, I was just about to say he won the better prize, which is he was the best meme of the Game Awards.
I know you guys wanted Yuri to win. And I would have been happy with Yuri
Yes,
too.
I
I think he was deserved as well. So
Yeah.
we all got this one wrong, and I'm happy with anyone in this category besides Idris Elba.
This one,
I
the next one I got
happy.
wrong too.
Yeah, I mean, I would be happy with anyone except Cameron Monaghan, to be fair.
Oh, I thought he
I
would.
thought he did great, but I wouldn't have had
I
him
haven't
win.
played the game. I just don't like him.
Oh, okay.
Why? Jedi Survivor was one of those games that kind of got snubbed too, and it was a quality game. Best audio design, I should have saw Hi-Fi Rush winning that. I really probably should because the whole game was about that. But I disagree with this one.
Yeah.
Massively actually.
I think it should have been. I think it should have been Dead Space.
I think it should have been Dead Space as well.
I think
I
it should
mean,
be best.
and I mean, you could call that recency bias because I just finished Dead Space, but I mean that game's audio design.
Can't say that for me because
So-
I played that in like February or March or whatever it was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I played it earlier in the year also, and so
Yeah.
Okay, good.
you're on the money.
Yeah. But Resident Evil 4 remake had a really good sound too.
They all did, to be fair.
They all did, yeah. But the horror
but-
games especially, I think,
Yeah.
stood out.
Yeah.
Best music, that was easy. Final Fantasy 16,
Yes,
by
very
far,
easy.
by far the best
Yeah.
soundtrack of the year. But all those, every game in that category has an amazing soundtrack. My only problem is Octopath Traveler 2 should have been one of them. That soundtrack was one of the best of the year. A lot of people felt that way too. A lot of people were not happy that it didn't get nominated for best soundtrack.
What did that come out in, like January, February?
Yeah, it was early. It was like a Q1 somewhere there. So.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, Hi-Fi Rush, like, a lot of the soundtrack was, like, licensed music. Like, some of the soundtrack was just, like, from other bands
Yeah.
and stuff. So it was, like, other games had more original soundtracks. Not that I'm saying it's bad or anything. I'm just saying, like, I guess you have to pick the music game to be in that category, of course.
For sure.
Next one. Best art direction. Personally, I would pick Super Mario Bros. Wonder. But Alan Wake 2 definitely deserves it. Alan Wake 2's lighting and stuff was incredible.
I would have gone with the Hi-Fi Rush, but I think Alan Wake is a great choice.
Yeah, Hi-Fi Rush was a great choice as well. I'm happy with all those. I thought Lies of P had an
Yeah.
amazing gothic Bloodborne aesthetic to it. Looked great.
Oh yeah.
In Tears of the Kingdom, I know Tears of the Kingdom had no chance because it's just it looks a lot like Breath of the Wild. Even though it's an upgrade over Breath of the Wild, it's still same.
That doesn't necessarily discount it.
It doesn't
but
discount it, but I
know
knew
what you mean.
I know there's a I feel like the Game Awards they tend to like want to pick newer games unless the sequel is like just so much better than everything else. And I think because Breath of the Wild is such a masterpiece to most people, like that like Tears of the Kingdom is a masterpiece too, but it's like we want to give something new. Like Baldur's Gate's the new IP, not IP, but like new.
No, but it's the new
big
hotness.
thing. Yeah, so that's what. I think that's how they think. Yeah, Alan Wake 2 deserved that. Best narrative. I picked Baldur's Gate 3 just because I think the RPG element of it
Yeah,
is
I
so
agree.
great. But Alan Wake 2, I should have saw it coming. Yeah, Alan Wake 2's narrative is just incredible.
So good. So fucking good.
Yeah.
Don't talk about it, please.
Okay.
I haven't played
Well,
it
There's
yet.
this part with the writer.
Shut up.
well, next episode, man, I'm gonna praise the shit out of that game. So
Oh,
be ready.
fuck.
Yeah.
So
you need to play it. I'm sorry, man.
Shit.
Well, I won't spoil anything, of course.
That's fine. I'll try and play it or something.
Do
I
it.
don't know.
Do it. It's
What are
such a good
you
game.
What are you
Do it.
waiting on? This is like one of the best games. Still.
Time. I'm waiting on time. I don't have free time. Damn
I'm
it.
just kidding. Best game direction. Now, I picked Tears of the Kingdom because you can do so much in that game with the physics and like people were making Godzilla with and all that.
I would have picked that game too. After I heard your explanation, I was like, yeah, I would give it to Tears as well.
But
I thought it was going to be Alan Wake 2. I thought it was going to be Alan Wake 2.
I was like, yeah, I was like 60% Tears of the Kingdom because of what I said. But like Alan Wake 2, I could have made a case because I was like, yeah, I love the Mind Palace and like all the crazy things you do with it. Yeah,
but they love here at the Keeleys. They love this kind of game for best direction, I feel like.
Yeah. Yep. So, and then I guess we're on the last one now. Game of the year was
Any guesses?
No one can guess.
Who knows?
Baldur's Gate 3, motherfucker!
Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3.
Well, I was about the viewers, the listeners, but never mind. Yeah, it's Baldur's Gate 3.
I was very happy with like I said, I was very happy with all the nominations. That this is the second year in a row Jeff picked my top 6 as all the nominees. That's my top 6, and yeah, like Baldur's Gate 3 is a step above everybody else. I think Baldur's Gate 3 is by far the best game of the year. It's not even close. I think Tears of the Kingdom is a masterpiece too, and any other year that would have been game of the year. But this year, Baldur's Gate 3 was.
And I know people can say, oh, there
incredible.
were bugs, there were crashes, there were this or that, and Tears of the Kingdom didn't have any crashes. They fixed most of those crashes. They fixed most of those bugs. Most of those things are not an issue anymore.
Yeah.
So, like, I just don't think it matters anymore. And also, I mean, in my experience, which doesn't mean it didn't happen for other people, but just for me, I didn't really have those problems. And I had 140 or 100 plus hours of greatness. So
Right, and comparatively, you know what Game of the Year nominee had a ton of bugs? That's right, Spider-Man 2.
You know what?
Right.
Although, like, I know you're joking, but on the other hand, like, people are getting a lot of bugs in that game. I really didn't have a lot of bugs in that game.
I didn't either. Yeah.
I was seeing crazy shit on Twitter, and I did not have
people were like
any
turning
of that.
into cubes and stuff.
Yeah, I didn't have any of that. I don't think I maybe had one crash, and that was about it. But,
Yeah, same. I had a couple crashes. That was it.
Yeah, so I'm not
I
I'm not a
think
PlayStation
maybe.
shill like pretending like I didn't have any raw issues. I'm just saying I didn't have really any technical issues. There was a couple there's a couple like NPCs in the world that were having issues, but that's any game. I was very happy with the nominees. I know people were upset Resident Evil 4 got picked as a nominee because it's a remake, but I think it's objectively better than most games that came out this year. So,
You know something though? I think this is the first year ever for the Keeleys where I would have been happy with any one of the nominees.
yeah, if any of these won,
Wow.
I would have been happy because this is my top 6.
Yeah. It's pretty close. I mean, obviously, it's not my top 6, but it's pretty damn close. It's like, it's pretty close to that.
Yeah. But I would have been a little upset if. Well, actually, I wouldn't be upset, but I feel like Baldur's Gate 3, Tears of the Kingdom.
I'd be a little disappointed.
And Alan
I'd
Wake.
be a little disappointed.
I think Baldur's Gate 3, Tears of the Kingdom, and Alan Wake 2 are a step above everybody else. I think those 3 games are. Not the 2 of them are masterpieces, and then I think Alan Wake's like right below that. Like it's like incredible. Like so. I would have been like a little like if Mario won that I'd have been like that's a weird choice even though Mario's like a 92 or a Metacritic and is one of the best Mario games ever, and Resident Evil 4 Remake I think is might be the worst game in that category, but that's not saying really anything because all those games are incredible. So it's like maybe Spider-Man is the worst of that because Spider-Man was really good but not like incredible. It was really good. It wasn't like in that higher tier.
For me, Spider-Man was masterful, but
yeah, but you know what I'm saying.
I'm always higher on these games than you are, though.
Yeah, I was like all these games are like 9.5 to 10.
Yeah,
why Spider-Man's like a 9. So
like
that's what I'm saying.
I love.
I don't agree with that, but that's
Insomniac's one of my
Yeah.
favorite developers, but it has to be said their games don't really push boundaries in the same way that some of these other games have.
Yeah, because like Insomniac, people were not criticized, but the people were like upset that Spider-Man didn't get anything, and I was like, once again, Insomniac is like it comes out. Their game comes out in the year where like there was like Red Dead Redemption 2 and God of War 2018, and then this year it's Tears of the Kingdom, Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, and it just gets overshadowed by this is poor timing.
Yeah.
But just getting nominated is a huge honor.
Oh yeah.
And that's all.
Absolutely.
To me, that's all that matters. I feel like I feel like the game of the year. I'm not saying it doesn't matter, but I'm saying like if you just get nominated, that's a huge honor for your studio.
And I mean,
Yeah,
it also depends on like how seriously you take this shit. Look, I don't take this shit that seriously. Like, it's cool that some of my favorite games are getting these, trophies and awards and recognition. I think that's cool, but at the end of the day, it doesn't ruin my involvement. For me, Baldur's Gate is my game of the year, and I don't really care what Jeff Keighley and his friends have to say.
Sure.
And same thing. I love Spider-Man 2. I don't really care if it didn't get nominated. It's one of my favorite games of the year. So.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And Spider-Man 2 is going to win a ton of Game of the Year awards in other places as well.
For sure.
Oh yeah,
So,
for sure.
It's all groovy.
To me, this category should have 8 games. I feel like this is the one category where I would have a little more extra ones, just not for the sake,
The Oscar effect.
just for the sake that like give more credit to like other big games as well.
Yeah.
Because I feel like things get left out when you only have 6, especially in a year like this. I know people are upset like indies got picked, but I feel like this year was so loaded that you really couldn't. Because I know people wanted to see if Stars to be here.
I feel like though they still did the indies decent justice. I mean, they did debut game, they indie debut. They did best indie as well, I think, and then they also did best game for making impact, which is almost always indie games as well. So
yeah, so but
can we address the Timothy Chalamet in the room?
Sure.
Sure.
So like for the Game of the Year award, so for the past like few years, because obviously you remember like when was it, like 2020 or 2019 or something, they had Vin Diesel come out and present Game of the Year for some reason
to advertise that Fast and Furious game, which ended up being hot garbage.
But then after that, for the next couple of years, they got into the habit of having the previous year's Game of the Year winner come out and announce Game of the Year, and I thought that was brilliant. That's what I wanted them to do. Like have the people in the industry, have the developers come out and present those awards, because that's more important. That's meaningful.
Yeah.
And then they come and have Timothy Chalamet do it this year again. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Look, man, he modded Xbox 360 controllers like 20 years ago on a YouTube channel, so therefore, anyway.
But I'm with you. Although I will say he was the best celebrity because he was like he got right to the point. He didn't
I will say this. Yeah, I agree with Seb. He was right to the point.
Yeah.
He didn't glamorize.
It didn't bother me because he got right to the point. But I am with you. It shouldn't be him. It shouldn't be him though. Yeah.
He went too far in that direction. Like I understand, like you don't want him to like hype himself up and be there about himself, but like he went too far in the other direction to the point where I'm thinking, okay, what is the point in him being here? Like this could be anybody doing this now. Because he's just reading off the script.
It was very strange to have him do Game of the Year, like the biggest award of the whole show. Yeah. Like I can understand if like he show up dressed as like Willy Wonka because he's like advertising his movie or something. That would have been atrocious.
He didn't do anything. Like he came out and he said, "The video game of the year is."
Yeah.
Like he went up to the microphone. I'm here to present the award for Game of the Year. Yada yada yada.
Right.
Who won last year? It was
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring. Maybe that's why they did it. Maybe they couldn't get Miyazaki.
Well, they got interrupted by that kid.
Well, maybe Bill Clinton guy. They should have gotten Bill Clinton guy.
Okay, so
they could have gotten him.
So now
they could have gotten.
They tightened security this year.
They did. Yeah. Let's talk about our final topic, like our overall thoughts about the whole show, because I think we all have issues with the show. Now overall,
right.
In terms of if I view it as an E3,
please wrap it up. Please wrap it up.
Yeah. if I view it as E3 kind of show, it was a great show. Like there was a lot of great games shown. I feel like I'm eating good right now. If I viewed it as an award show, it was absolutely atrocious. I feel like
you know what?
Go ahead.
The best thing to come out of it, I think, is the fact that like they were rushing people off stage when they were trying to give their acceptance speeches and stuff. But like the best thing about that, even though that's not a good thing, is that it got people talking
Yeah.
about the fact that there's not enough emphasis in the show
Yeah.
on the award winners and stuff. Which, and I'm not trying to blow my own trumpet. I have been saying that for years, and now
Fair
it's
enough.
nice to see that people are finally
I
kind of
think-
picking up on
so
that, and maybe they'll change it.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair, James, and I think it's great that you have been saying that. I think the reason why it came to a head this year is it's just so painfully obvious. Like at this point, 30 seconds is not okay. Like you need at least a minute and then start to slowly like play the like soft music. It's just like it was so infuriating to me. It showed such disrespect. Can you imagine having fucking Anuma or whatever on the stage with a please wrap it up, or like at the beginning where Neil Newbin was talking about like how like survivors of abuse and stuff like that like dealt with or the Asterian stuff helped people like that, and he's being like fucking rushed off the stage while he's giving this emotional speech about how his performance helped people. Like that's just fucking intolerable in my opinion.
Especially the last speech, because like Larian Studio said that we had people die from COVID and like they were getting rushed.
Yeah. Unconscionable. I mean, just fucking unconscionable in my opinion. At least give people a minute. I know the Christopher Judge, went over time by a lot last year, but this was a complete overreaction. Mm-hmm. And to me, look, I love Kojima. I respect a lot of the work he did. So what I'm about to say, I don't say very lightly. The fucking time that Kojima and Jordan Peele got, you could have gotten like 2 other fucking speeches or something like that were actual speeches, or 5 speeches in that time that Jeff Keighley was giving, you know, all that time. So many words I want to use right now, but giving all that time to Kojima. And I love Kojima and I love Jordan Peele especially. Yeah. They're both great creators, but it's just
you can't call this the Game Awards anymore. This is the advertisement show.
It's the game
with trailers mixed in. This is no award. Yeah, this is we're gonna get all the celebrities we can get. This is like we're gonna advertise all the big games like Fortnite, Call of Duty. We're gonna get all that marketing money. Like this is it. Jeff isn't a really nice guy. I think Jeff's a very nice guy, but he is the face of corporate video games. Like he is the face of like his show is the most corporate thing ever. Like there is no love for the developers at all.
And no mention of the layoffs.
No mention. Like I was gonna say that. Mention.
But no mention. Zero.
No mention. It's just a bad look in a year where like we had one of the best years ever, like if not the best. And in the same year though, it was a horrible year for developers, the people that make these games.
Yep.
And the fact that you don't even
over 10,000 people got laid off or some crazy
number
like that.
And the fact you don't even mention that.
Just some vague stuff about how video games bring us together and shit like that.
And you're rushing people off the stage. Yep. People that don't even speak English, like Sam Lake, rushing him off the stage.
Well, I had a thought as well, of like, and this is like less to do with the kind of aggravation of it all, but like, and Jeff is a good presenter.
Yeah.
But the fact that he presents these awards every year. Not to take anything away from him, because I know he puts a lot of effort into these shows.
Yeah.
But like, the fact that he presents these awards every year, I feel like if they got rid of him, and like he was still building the show and everything, but if he didn't present it, if they got somebody like a professional, like talk show host or something like they do at the Oscars, not one that everyone hates. Jesus Christ, don't get James Corden. But like if
I wouldn't even watch.
If they got like a professional like that to present this, the awards, I think the show would feel a lot more professional. Like right now, there's still an element of it that feels like Jeff's basement project. You know?
Yeah.
Like, which is fine. I mean, maybe that's a good thing, right? Maybe that makes it feel more relatable or something like that.
I don't know if it does because it feels so corporate to me. It feels out of touch to me.
Yeah.
I watch it because I'm a huge gamer. You know, I like to talk about the awards and I like to talk about all the announcements. But like, there's so many ads for like huge corporations. It's the most corporate thing every year. It's not the Game Awards. It's like,
and they don't like they have they have the audacity to have all these ads, and they don't even bring back Hydrobot.
Right?
What's that about?
I was thinking that we got the fucking bot from Fallout, but we couldn't get the fucking Hydrobot back. Like,
Right,
really?
exactly.
Like, I'm not naive. I know it pays the bills, but
Right.
he needs a better balance. That's
agree.
really what we're saying. You can't get rid of that because you need to
Right.
pay the bills, but
Yeah.
you need a
Some
better
of 'em.
balance. Yeah, you get some of
We're
it.
upset.
Exactly. Get rid of some of them. What all he really needs to do is give everybody at least a minute, not 30 or 2 minutes. Like he totally overreacted from last year.
Especially Game of the Year, because at that point the show's over. There's no need to rush anybody.
Exactly. It's like he should honor the devs more. Like that's really what it came down to. In a year where everybody got fired, he should have had more of a tribute to, like, because it feels phony baloney when you're like, oh, gaming brings us all together, da, da, da. And then you're not even addressing like the real life issues. Like obviously I don't expect him to talk about like what's going on in Palestine and all that. Like I don't expect that, but he should address issues in the gaming industry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because he's like the biggest when you think of like the game industry, right? Like he's like the face of it in terms of like the media. Like he's like the guy. Like he always makes himself the center of Gamescom and Game Awards. Like he has a monopoly on Summer Game Fest. E3's gone, right? So he has a monopoly on the summer. He has Gamescom, and he's the guy that does the award show. He's like he is the guy, and which is. I don't know. I'm not saying he needs to have competition. I'm just saying like he needs to. I feel like he does a good job listening to people. So maybe next year he'll probably do a better job. I'm sure because he does listen to criticism. To his credit.
Yeah, no, but I don't think he'll listen to this particular.
But I
think he'll
agree with you.
change the ratio of awards, but I don't think he'll listen to anything in regards to speaking out about important issues because this was an issue before as well with the whole Activision thing, if you remember.
Mm-hmm.
Like the exact same thing at the Game Awards, people were complaining that.
Yeah,
I remember that. I was just trying to think. I knew a couple of years ago. And look, I want to reiterate. I think that as a game show, it was good, maybe even great. The last hour was kind of weak for me, but everything else was pretty good. That first hour, for me, like there was like 10 games that I was at least interested in, a few games that I was even hyped in. But like when it comes to the awards part, which is like supposedly the whole reason they're there, it's just completely lacking. And honestly, bordering, if not crossing the line of disrespectful to the people who brought you to the dance, Jeff. They brought you to the fucking dance when you were in G4. So, I just feel like we gotta do better.
Spike TV.
We gotta do better. Spike TV, all that shit.
Yeah. I agree with you. I'm with James too, as well as that. Like, yeah, they're not gonna make huge adjustments, and obviously there's gonna be a lot of ads. It's just how it's gonna be every year.
Yeah.
But what you could do is give them more time to talk. Like, give them like 2 minutes. At least.
And I don't even care about the ads. The ads are fine. Look, we fucking live under capitalism. I'm not gonna complain about ads. That's how you pay the bills. But it's just
too many ads.
Ratio.
Yeah, the ratio. Yeah, nice balance. But not only that, like don't rush the awards. Like don't do best RPG as like a side note. Like actually,
that was bullshit.
Actually, present it and give the person a reward. Like and the fact that none of the indie developers got to go on stage to accept their award.
That was bullshit too. I didn't like that either.
Like you're celebrating indies, right? Like because it just feels like we're celebrating corporations. It's like honor the indies. Like, that's frustrating. It's not an award show. It's an advertisement E3, and.
We have a dour note to end the podcast on.
It's cathartic at least because I've been wanting to rant about this.
Also, the fact that I'm with Dory. The first hour of the show was really good. Like I was like, this is one of the best Game Awards ever. And then and then after that, it fell off hard. When it got to like the middle of the show, I was getting really bored. Like nothing was hitting with me. There was ads left and right. They were rushing through all the awards I cared about. It fell off hard. And I feel like we were all like that because like Dory and Mitch and I all had like a lot of energy like in the first half, and then like the second half we were kind of like, this is starting to drag. This show doesn't need to be 3 hours long. If this show was 2 hours, this show would have been incredible.
Perfect. Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how you like to be fully transparent. A good thing that's not my fucking job, but I don't know how you make this 2 hours. give them more time, less ads, more. Like I don't know how you balance everything out,
Yeah.
but I know that Jeff could, and he's just not.
Well, he
fucking
gets
doing it for some
millions
reason.
of dollars to make these decisions. So
Yeah.
he
So
that's what he does. That's his main job. Like that's everything.
right.
His main job is Summer Game Fest, Game Awards, right? So his job is to
Yep.
plan all these things.
So do better, Jeff, is what we're saying.
Yeah, like,
look, I
we're
want
ha-
to,
go ahead.
I want to at least say some positive things about all the stuff that I'm excited for, because I agree with James. It's kind of a dour note to end on.
Yeah.
But like DBZ, Sparking Zero, Windblown, Lost Records, Kojima's new fucking game, whatever the hell that's going to be, free God of War DLC. We didn't even talk about that.
Yeah,
The
we
roguelike.
we didn't talk about that. And the Final Fantasy
Final
16.
Fantasy 16 DLC with ×2, which we didn't even talk about. Jet Set Radio remake, holy shit.
Yeah.
Coney Island 2. I mean, that's all hype.
Oh, overall, I think this was a good show.
Yes.
Like I said, as a game award, like as a game showcase, I'm eating good. It was like a whole buffet. Like I'm excited. Like there was a lot of games I'm super hyped for, or generally interested in, or I just need to see more. I was very happy. Like I was very happy. I like even my dad watched it, and he's not a casual, but he was like, "Oh, there's a lot of games. I don't know how I'm gonna have the time to play all these games." I'm like, "Yep." As an award show, it was awful, but as a game showcase, it was amazing. Like it had issues, pacing issues, but overall, I was like, "Yeah, it was really good." I was happy with a lot of the stuff. So, and on a positive note, Jeff puts on a good show. He just needs to tweak his show. He just needs, and I think he needs to honor the developers a little more. I feel like honor the indies more, honor the awards more. Make it more. Don't make it like the Oscars, but like just don't rush everything and don't rush all the categories, right? Like make all the big ones. Like I obviously esports should be a side note, obviously, but like best RPG, best action game, action adventure, those should all have speeches, and then those should not be like a side note on the screen. That's all I'm saying. Just balance. We want balance. That's all we're saying. And Dory and I are
be returned to the force.
And Dory and I are really strong about this. Feel they're strong that like developers should be honored, right? Because the ones that they went through they had a really hard year. Because this is almost our last.
Yeah,
this is our last regular
They've
episode.
had a really hard last 3 years. I mean, I know everybody has, but especially game devs.
Yeah,
We had a really hard year this year, especially.
Exactly, we had one of the most incredible years ever, and they went through a really hard year. So I wanted to honor them as a final note for our episode, that like we wouldn't have this conversation if not for them. Like we wouldn't have all these great
Absolutely.
games.
100%.
Yeah. So, all right. Is that everything you guys wanted to hit on, or is there anything else before we go?
No,
Nope.
Cool.
Fuck the Oscars. There you go.
All right. So next week is our final episode of the year, 2024. 2023, and we're gonna talk about our top 10 games of the year. Like that's my favorite video of the year. Like this is I've been building this
We
list.
get to just gush about the best games of the year and what they are,
Yeah.
and why they are factually correct.
Yes, and then we'll do our honorable mentions in January. So
Yep.
because a lot of games we left out. So
little spoiler ahead of time, or not spoiler, no, not spoiler, but more like a hint. You guys are gonna love my number 6.
Okay. Terrific.
part of me thinks it's gonna be like Baldur's Gate, and it's gonna be like we're gonna have to talk about it early. Cause remember like 2021? Remember 2021 where I picked True Colors as number 10,
Yeah,
and
Master.
God, that fucks with me so much.
My game of the year.
Yeah, and that was like number 2 or something, or number 1 or something like that.
I rewatched that video like a month ago, and I remember,
I did too,
and
yeah.
Dory had
So
like
funny.
5 choices in a row. Like we already talked about the game, so Dory couldn't talk for like 40 minutes.
I know, it was so bad.
And then like the last like half an hour was just me, because like everybody else's games were picked already.
That's right.
So I don't think it's gonna be that way this year, just from what I'm gathering. So all right, you all have a good night. Thanks for the long episode. It was really fun. And you
Bye.
all have a good night. Bye. Happy holidays.
Bye.
Hydrobot, come back to me, my love.